Hi, my name is Anton, and I run as Marcus.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I run as Witch's Cat.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I run as Bear.
Hi, my name's Jake. I run as Price.
Welcome to London Underground. Good evening, runners. How are you all doing tonight?
Hello, DM Dan.
Evening. Yeah.
Evening.
Thanks.
Really good.
Hello. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's good to see you all.
Yeah.
Back at it.
Yeah, wonderful. So, yeah, we are back in the dirty yet surprisingly chrome future of Neo London, where we will pick up with our favourite team of Shadowrunners. I suppose, just to quickly kind of recap for everyone, the last mission you had went got a bit spicy, didn't it? In the
It
plaza.
went very well. Nothing wrong happened. DM Dan.
In the plaza outside a Blue Tree office, there was a bit of a ruckus, a bit of a protest. There was magic, bullets, people falling off buildings, techno vampires or cyber vampires, and a very well placed 360 no scope shot from an enemy Shadowrunner team to bring the mission to a premature close.
Yeah. A target did get assassinated. That was a bit of a downer.
Yes.
Hot shot.
But the information that McSmith didn't want getting out didn't get out.
That's absolutely right. Yes, yeah, it wasn't the cleanest of endings, but it was a suitable ending as far as your McSmith was concerned. So, off the back of that, we would have had a couple of kind of level ups. So if everyone specifically some links off the back of the last mission, you all would have kind of gotten more used to working with one another. So Anton, who did Marcus link with off the back of the last mission, and why?
Yeah, sure. Marcus linked with Kat because they did the whole overview of the operation, playing in the back, feeding each other information. Yeah. So that's what I gave.
Okay. And Julia, who did Kat link with?
Likewise, Marcus, for the same reasons.
Yeah, I see a pattern emerging. Jake, who did Price link with?
I linked with Bear because we spent a lot of time on the ground hunting for our target and helping each other out in the madness around the Blue Tree.
And Bear, Matt, you're going to keep this nice and tidy. Who did Bear link with?
Yeah, keep it tidy. Linked with Price. Especially Price's whirlwind of blue leaves. That was very cool. Appreciated that.
Very good. Cool. So, yes, let's say we will pick up with our runners. So, given how hairy the last mission was, it has been a short minute since the last job. You've decided to lay low. Marcus, you probably would have had to have spent a little bit of time to allow your ribs to set and heal, having tumbled from that building canopy.
That's true.
And yeah, just kind of let some of the heat die down. As such, you find yourselves in a position where things feel kind of boring. You're kind of pent up in this little apartment that the four of you are sharing, along with Ellie's brother, Josh, and that similar kind of feeling of claustrophobia that you had before you started running again is beginning to rise to the surface, and tensions are beginning to run a little high amongst you.
Sorry, where do we all sleep? This is a one-bedroom flat.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the problem, isn't it?
I will probably go and sleep in my sedan.
Poor Price.
Marcus on the balcony, Bear on the couch.
And then Ellie and Josh in the bed, presumably.
Probably.
Good lord.
Yeah, so things are starting to become a little bit cramped, and it's tensions are starting to fray amongst you all. And we pick up specifically with you, Price, as you're in the kitchen area, because it's an open plan kitchen area of this little bedsit, and the rest of you can tell that Price is stirring the tea bag around a little more aggressively than he might normally do. He's making the dinks as he goes round the cup are much louder than they normally are, and there's the occasional huff every so often. So Price is clearly close to breaking.
Price, you get some milk? Listen, last time Bear drank all the milk.
I don't have any milk.
Listen, Price, I told you to go buy some milk.
Well, you're going to give me some money to buy the milk. You never give me any money to buy the milk. I'm the one who has to go out there. I have to clean the car. I have to tidy up. I make the tea constantly. What have you done?
Let's not count who gave what. I buy whiskey occasionally. You buy the milk.
Oh, you have put that in your tea, don't you? But you don't put the milk in.
Listen, everybody's got their own thing to do.
Marcus, you should really try milk. Your ribs might not crack so easily if you drank more milk.
Listen, I need a bit of whiskey in my tea. It's what makes me.
Ellie,
right?
I'm bored. You hear a voice shouting from.
Ellie's just ignoring him. Just like,
Ellie, Ellie,
I'm bored of you.
And I can only imagine, sat in the middle of this storm of frustration, is Bear, a bastion of calmness and tranquility. Because potentially, Bear, off the back of the last mission, you've noticed there's been some changes happening in your body. You've noticed there's
puberty.
Yeah,
milk
hits
him?
us all sooner or later.
He's actually only 13.
Yeah. Off the back of the last mission, you've noticed that your connection with the bear spirit is beginning to. You can feel the tingles in your fingertips that you used to, and you've felt a lot more. Like the spirit, like the feeling that the spirit sends towards you, you feel a bit more kind of protective and calm, not docile, but like a gentle giant, more so than a I don't know, like a raging honey badger. I don't know. So yeah, as all of this shouting and arguing is happening over your head, Price, as you point the teaspoon at Marcus aggressively for having spent your weekly budget on whiskey. There is Bear, you turn and notice there's a Bear, you notice a slight disturbance, and as you turn to look next to you, like in the doorway of the apartment,
What?
stands what you can only describe as this ragged, this decomposed, broken silhouette of a human.
And
ragged,
how do we roll for initiative?
Ragged clothes, dressed in ragged robes, distinctly see-through, eyes glowing. For want of a better word, Ellie, like you would look at it and go and think, oh, that looks like a zombie ghost.
Mm-hmm.
What on, and straight out of Resident Evil 13. And it just appears to be standing in the door, just watching you all. Like,
Sorry, can we all see this?
you can.
So is the door open? This is the door to the flat or whatever.
Door to the bedsit. It has just appeared in the doorway. Like it stood on the
dear.
welcome mat.
Oh,
I guess Bear would probably look down at his tea and wonder if he's drinking Marcus's by mistake.
Yeah, Marcus has definitely got some form of gun pointed towards me. He's going, hey, what is that?
The thing kind of this spectre looks around the room curiously, and then its eyes focus on you, Price. and it slowly begins plodding towards you with.
Hey, listen.
Slowly turn the teaspoon pointing towards the ghost.
As you point the teaspoon at it, it reaches past you and kind of picks up the teacup, the mug of tea next to you, and as it pours it into its open mouth, you just see it splashing on the floor between its legs.
Marcus.
Right, let me know if I need to shoot this thing. Let me know.
Marcus.
Yes.
That was my tea.
The spirit.
That's all I had.
Bear, is this a friend of yours?
So
that's the last of the milk.
Bear.
Does he look like anybody's friend, Marcus?
Listen, give me 3 seconds. I'm shooting this thing.
Bear.
No.
Bear.
3.
So Bear, as you're stood there looking, everyone else is panicking because this kind of zombie ghost has just wandered in and stolen Price's tea. What you see is what you would describe as a spirit of man, a spirit bound within a kind of a man-made construct. And as this spirit of man puts the tea mug down, it Price, and then looks at you dead in the eye.
I'm assuming I recognise her. It's thing.
I'm here on behalf of a friend, Price.
I'm getting a second teaspoon.
Price, is it some grandparent or parent of yours? You let me know.
Just stay on 3 for a minute, Marcus.
Right, 3.
No, I mean, wait. It's the other way, you're counting down.
Eileen Hargreaves. I have been sent by Eileen Hargreaves.
Eileen Hargreaves? You're not Eileen Hargreaves. What? Do I have an idea how she's done this, or
the spirit looks to you, sees your confusion, and then kind of leans in until you can't smell the rot and death on it, but you feel like you can, like your brain's telling you that you can, as it leans in real close and
Eileen is dead.
drop the teaspoons.
I'm the result of her death. I have been sent. A dead man's switch.
Oh.
So as you ask what, Marcus, I suppose it would be you, perhaps you or Ellie. You've heard of this term, dead man switch, before. Generally speaking, it's it's a switch that is something that triggers when someone dies. Usually, it's Ellie. You've heard of hackers having confidential files that certain people don't want to see the light of day connected to a dead man switch, where upon death of the owner they will be uploaded. Marcus, you've heard of corporations employing similar things. In the military, you've heard of
grenades.
Certain explosives having dead man switches used in pretty horrific kind of hostage situations, for example. But for a spirit to be referring to itself as a dead man switch is somewhat more peculiar. But yeah, the spirit looks at you, Price, and reaffirms.
Hargreaves is dead, and I am here for you.
Right, bring it down to 2 now.
No, what do you mean she's dead? So I know Eileen. It's fine. Calm yourselves. But what, you've been sent because she's died? How did she die? She's what, just in the home?
The spirit kind of looks around, and it's not as creaky or kind of it doesn't move as erratically as it did before, seemingly because it's had a cup of tea. But
It solves everything.
the spirit just kind of looks to you, kind of turns, walks through the kitchen counter, through the sofa, like through the couch, and just sits down next to you, Bear, somewhat nonchalantly. Ellie, you hear a voice from behind you. Is that
Ellie
is that a
starts
ghost?
closing the door in his face.
And as you close the door, that's so cool.
How worried is Bear about these spirits? Do I know that they're friendly or not hostile necessarily, or would I be on high alert?
So you know that spirits are well, I mean, literally, they're spirits. They tend to be bound to the wills of shamans, like shamanic lodges, much in the way that hermetic libraries, mages similar to Price, might bind elementals. But there are spirits of all sorts of things: spirits of man, spirits of city, spirits of rivers, spirits of fields, just kind of areas of the world. But a spirit is bound to its domain. The spirits of men are usually some sort of twisted reflection of the environment in which they were created. So this rotting zombie being a dead man switch seems somewhat appropriate, and the spirits are usually commanded to do things. In your mission through Augitech, there were some Watcher spirits, so spirits bonded to a mage to patrol an area, which they can do ceaselessly. But yes, the spirit sits next to you, Bear, and Price. Are you still kind of stood in the kitchen area?
Yeah, because it's not too far from the sofa anyway. I just like, so, and I'll fumble down and try and pick up the teaspoon. So, let's just get this straight. Eileen's dead, and you're a result of this death.
So the spirit who's sat next to Bear with its back to you, it almost looks like it's watching the TV, but you watch as its head turns 180 to face you.
Hargreaves is dead. I have been summoned for you. The ritual used to bind me was a result of Hargreaves fearing her impending death. She created me to find you and task you with a job. Hargreaves would like you to find her killer.
Oh, right.
So, given that the spirit seems bound to you, Price,
Yay.
can you give me a get the job move, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to be paid in ghost money.
Get the job.
It won't eat us if we do it.
Might be good enough.
Yeah. Doesn't let me click it.
If you click on that icon.
It's the icon, not the button. Oh no.
Okie dokie.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, so
We get nothing.
you get. Okay, yeah, so you won't be able to attack anything on. Okay, so it's just the bare bones. So you can ask a few questions, but you won't be able to get any additional intel or gear. The job won't pay well. It could attract attention, so on and so forth. So I guess the first question, Price, is given that this spirit has been sent to you specifically by Eileen Hargreaves, who is Eileen Hargreaves, and specifically, who is she to you?
Well, so Eileen Hargreaves is a lovely old lady. She resides at the Pill Gardens Residential and Nursing Home in London. She was a lovely old lady that I met through my work within the the church that I would go and occasionally help and talk to and just do the outreach program. And I got chatting to her, playing dominoes, having nice cups of tea, and it turns out that she managed to sort of like sense in the Grand Awakening that I was becoming one of these mages, and she was one herself from previous years, an earlier awakened soul, a sort of a witch, as it were. And so she was able to guide Price through this turmoil in himself as to why he's got these powers and what he was going to do with them. So she was like a little mentor to him.
Okay, very good, very good. And how are you feeling, having received word of her death? From the
pretty shaken.
This spectral messenger.
Yes, the spectral messenger, the ghost from the grave, which doesn't really bide well for him in its wholesome. He's feeling proper like he's just like that final gnat has gone inside him, and like what the feck has just gone on. And that's probably along those lines of getting the job, that he's not really going to be that fussed about getting anything out of this. He wants to, it's almost like a family member has died, and he just wants to go and sort out what has gone on there. Okay. But he doesn't really care what else, that there's no payment or anything around it.
Okay, fair enough. In which case, yeah, the spirit with its head turned 180 to look at you. In fact, its head kind of rotates if you walk around the room, so it's always looking at you, despite it's from the neck down being in a seated position next to Bear. But it looks like it's in the body language, such as it is, implies that it will happily answer questions to the best of its ability.
I also talked to the group as well. So, and I would have explained who Eileen was to them at that point while I was describing it. So can you all help me out? I need to go find out what's happened to her. And I'll turn around to this spirit thing and say, where did it happen?
The spirit its eyes kind of stop glowing, almost as if it's closed them, and then it opens them back up, and
the body was found in her room at Pill Garden.
And can you tell me how she died?
Yeah, listen, Bryce, if she fell and broke her hip, well, listen, we're not interested.
That's right. It could be that horrible person who's trying to steal her little figurines from next door. She's got these lovely little crystal figurines.
There you go.
Things.
Mystery solved. They're done.
I suspect this could be more sinister, but that she wouldn't just summon this as a will.
Right. Choked on a cookie, whatever it may be. Listen, we're not interested.
The spirit looks somewhat. There's a look of sadness that spreads across its face, like shame almost, as a.
I cannot tell you the method of death, for I was summoned before this happened. The ritual was cast when she had suspicion for her impending demise.
Did she have any suspicion as to why she was in danger?
Eileen's mind was troubled.
Well, she did suffer dementia.
There are holes in the memory.
Right.
So we're saying it's Alzheimer's.
I don't really want to ask it too much more, because I'm more in Price is more in sort of like I need to get to the care home and find out for myself, rather than interrogate a little ghost. If anyone else would like to ask him,
yeah, feel free.
She ghost thing.
Marcus is freaked out by it, so probably not.
Does anyone have questions for the ghost sitting on the couch?
So they well, I don't know how to put this, and sorry, Price. I know she was your friend. Is she still there, or have other people found her?
The spirit turns its head, and it doesn't turn it the 90 degrees to face you. It turns it the 270 degrees to complete the circuit.
I was bound to find price. I do not know the state of her body or location.
Well, perhaps we ought to get there quick, so we can maybe, if we can observe things as they are before someone else disturbs it.
I'm all for that. Grabbing the car keys.
The spirit.
We can get milk on the way back.
The spirit finishes.
Eileen Hargreaves has agreed to provide payment upon the discovery and apprehension of her murderer.
Like a will?
Upon my approval of the completion of task, the funds will be released.
Oh. Are you gonna stay here then?
The spirit ponders.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Is this spirit legally mandated to manage the accounts of Mrs. Hargrave? Can somebody explain to me how this works?
We don't really have time for that.
I find this much easier than your fancy banking, Cat.
Hey,
the spirit kind of it has this thoughtful look for a moment.
The manner that binds me is finite. I feel my grasp on reality will last no more than 48 hours.
Oh, great! And I'll set my little watch clock.
Okay, so yeah, the ghost will, the spirit of man will effectively arrange to have you paid if you can solve the mystery within 48 hours.
Ooh, okay.
So anything long term isn't going to fly in this investigation. It's going to have to be relatively seat of the pants stuff.
Short and sharp.
Cool. All right, I think we're gonna go to the retirement home.
Mm-hmm.
First off, how much? Because this is how it works. How much are you all betting? Like, how much of your credit are you staking?
The normal amount.
Remind us what.
So you can stake 1 to 3 cred.
1 to 3.
If the mission is a success, you will get double what you staked. For every person that stakes 3, the clocks start going up because people see you splashing money.
I'm gonna stack 2.
I love.
I was going to stake 2
I love
as well.
doing 2. We don't know much about this, so I'm not going 3.
But
I feel I have to do 3 that as a personal character. It has to be 3. My little Eileen's dead.
And you might be able to get get a new car out of it, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, because that's how we feel when all the old people have died, isn't it? It's just what do I spend the cash on? Like suckers.
So Bryce, if you're spending 3, that will put the action clock up 1 spot to 3 o'clock. Just as it's somewhat slightly noticeable if there's a lot of cash being splashed around in very kind of whimsical way. Cool. So with that in mind, what the spirit? Are there any last things you want to ask the spirit before you depart?
There, was it coming with us?
It seems to have taken up residence on the couch.
Okay. Good luck, Cat.
We just got to hope that ectoplasm doesn't bleach.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna just leave Josh with the ghost, and off we go.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good point.
I guess that, Cat.
He's gonna come out and try and make a sandwich, and this thing will just be like watching him.
I'm gonna have to give him a quick crash course in living with a zombie. Okay, so Cat will have a little word with him and maybe introduce them. Say, Josh, this is. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
The spirit. Spirit just looks at you.
And anyway, this is Josh, my brother. Josh, there's nothing wrong with ignoring it completely, okay? I don't think it's interested in you. Just do your thing. Maybe stay in the bedroom, you know?
Josh is kind of pushing past you and is like, oh wow, and it's like putting his hand through it.
Don't try and touch it. Don't try and touch him.
But it's cold.
Yeah. Just we don't know what the long-term effects of that are, so just like keep away from it, okay?
Hey kid, you want a gun?
Marcus, we talked about this.
Wait, the cat. Listen, it's just a small one. It's called the holdout.
No, not
It's
yet.
the grenade launcher.
Yeah. Says Josh.
Marcus, he's 14.
Yeah.
He's 14, Marcus.
Old
No.
enough.
I
No.
agree. Yep.
No. Not yet.
Learn to shoot at 12.
Okay, so as you all continue this argument to presumably Price's luxury sedan parked in the underground car park.
3 cred for price. Nice.
Wee. Hell yeah.
Cool.
Cred.
Yes, as you continue this argument down into the underground car park, you all pile it into Price's luxury sedan, and you begin making your way to Pill Garden Residential, was it?
Yeah, Pill Garden Residential.
Pill Garden
and
Residential.
Nursing home.
So as you head, so you're in the kind of the Brixton-ish area. So as you head west, you cross over the bridge and head west. Pill Garden is in one of the quote-unquote nicer parts of London, in kind of West London. If anything, there's slightly more green in West London, whereas pretty much everywhere else is just dirt and neon. Like rust, dirt, and neon. As you pull up to this kind of... The building itself looks almost kind of out of time with everything else. There's... all around you there are these tall, high-rise, glass-sided buildings. These aren't plastered with the holographic advertisements that you might see in kind of the main city, like the inner city. But they still do have this kind of imposing look as they reflect the kind of the ambient lights around. You park your car up in the car park, and making your way inside this residential home. You get to the front door and it's locked. You can see a little security camera overhead, with a steadily blinking red light, and there's a little intercom on the door.
Oreo's price.
So are you beeping it?
Yes.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Okay. So you beep it a number of times, and then eventually you hear that noise as the door just unlocks. As you're kind of you're looking up at the camera as the door unlocks, and you make your way in. The decor inside this old residential home is decidedly 30s, like 30s decor, and it's all like
wait, 2030.
Yeah,
2000.
like old.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like whatever. Like, how did they ever think that this decor was tasteful? It's just
all sleek metal, aluminium, white plastic.
Yeah, it's just horrible. Absolutely.
2030s.
But there's also that. There's that smell. There's that old people smell. And it's
pending death.
Yeah, very, 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 very clear.
Talc.
Yes.
Talc.
And so as you approach the desk, you can see over to the side there's like a large communal area. There's some kind of vid feeds up on the walls, playing like late night. What time would you say this is? I'll let you lot decide whether it's morning.
Well, it depends what time of day the ghostie came to see us. Like,
10,
It
11?
did happen.
yeah, sort of lunchtime-ish by now, I imagine.
Okay, let's say lunchtime. So, in which case, the vid feeds are playing the 2070s version of like countryside, like data.
Midsummer Murders.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like Homes Under the Hammer, like that sort of those trashy daytime TV shows. They're playing on.
That would still be about, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gosh.
Yeah, the pickled head of David Dickinson presenting. presenting.
Head in a jar.
You can see all of these kind of older people just kind of gathered around, like sat down. Some of them are shuffling about, some of them playing board games or dominoes or cards or whatever. Some of them are just kind of wandering around in inverted commas circles. And there's this kind of happy, smiley girl on the reception desk. This little elf who looks to you and, "Hi, can I help you?" she says. She leans in, and like as she blinks at you as you kind of approach, you notice like her irises, like her eye colours is chroma, like it shifts through the various gradients of the rainbow. And she blinks at you a couple of times. Yeah, how can I help?
Can Marcus just walk past reception?
Excuse me.
And walk to where the couch is, and he'll just sit down, pick up a mug from somewhere, pour some whiskey into it, and just start watching telly.
Wow.
All right, Bryce, let me know when you're done.
This receptionist go. Is he with you?
Yes. Don't worry, just leave him be. Hi, my name's Price. I'm from the Compass Church. I normally come and see Eileen Hargreaves. Do you know the lady by chance? Need to see her, please.
So this girl's kind of got this like receptionist smile on, like the very well trained, impenetrable smile. And then when you say Eileen, like you see her visibly kind of shake, almost as if she's been shocked, like by she's touched a live wire, and like you can see her eyebrows beginning to like quiver and falter slightly as she she looks around. I'm afraid you won't be able to see Eileen. Are you family? Sorry.
Yes.
Family or friends?
Family. She's part of the church family.
I think you should take a seat.
No. I'll come see her. What's wrong?
And this girl looks very uncomfortable. Unfortunately, Eileen passed away in the night. I'm so sorry for your loss.
I'll look a bit shaken back from that because I hate to actually hear it from a living person. It almost brings it a bit more home to Price, as opposed to just hearing it from a spectral thing. It's a bit more like he knows that no one's playing a trick on him anymore. And I'll ask her if she can you take me to see her?
The authorities they've already taken her body away, but I mean her possessions are still in her room. We haven't had we're due to start clearing the room out for someone else later this afternoon. But if I mean there are a lot of people on the waiting list, so unfortunately we can't wait around. So it's fortunate we've been trying to reach you. I assume you're in communication with Eileen's daughter?
Yes, remind me which one that is.
Cat.
The girl looks to you like, what? You don't Chloe, we assume you're in communication with Chloe. It's just Chloe's not been returning our calls, you see, and
oh, that's very much like Chloe.
We
weird because I haven't been able to get through to Chloe recently either.
Nah, me neither.
It's at this point that this elf looks down and notices the dwarf in a bear costume.
Damn it, Chloe.
And then
At a time like this, Chloe?
Fail me for the last time.
So, yeah, this elf looks to you, and it's fortunate that you're here. I mean, we're happy for you to go through your possessions and pick up anything of importance.
Yes, please. Bear, if you'd like to join me at that. Kat, do you mind with staying reception and just double checking that you've got the right address and number for Chloe? Because it might be that there's a bit of miscommunication with the home. And just double check which authorities. It'd be good to just check that the hospital that's taken her, or where do you take dead people? Yes, the hospital. Would make sure that they've got her possessions, because I'd hate for her family ring to go to the wrong person.
I know, absolutely. Okay.
Okay, so this woman on the desk nods. She kind of steps around. Sorry, if you could just sign yourselves in here. I'll get you all visitors badges. I'll get a visitor's badge for your friend over there. And then I'll take you to her room.
Yeah, I'll sign us all in. Okay.
So, she kind of steps out from behind the counter. As you're walking through this care home. It's effectively, so this communal area is kind of in the middle of this. It's effectively like a miniaturized tower block, and the rooms kind of are in rings going round. So at any point you could kind of look down into the recreational foyer. You notice that there's a distinct lack of stairs as you enter into an elevator that takes you up to the 13th floor.
A bit like that Lord Mayor's. What's the thing in London? That's all circular thing going up the outside, isn't it? Don't worry, carry on. I know what I'm talking about.
Yes, and and yeah.
I'll send you a picture later.
As you're, Price, it's you and Bear in the elevator going up to the room, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're
any spiritual stuff we need to deal with, yep.
Makes sense. So as you're heading up, the receptionist, is kind of she's a bit more passive, a bit more. She's less smiley. She's not got that welcome smile on her face anymore. And then you can see that something's on her mind, and then she turns to you and says, I just wanted to let you know before we let you in. Eileen wasn't well. Hasn't been well over the past few weeks. We worry that it was her mind. She seems to be suffering from some pretty extreme fixations. It's difficult to say, but she told one of the nurses that she thought that someone was trying to kill her. But
and have they? Did she say who? How?
She said that she was still trying to find out. It was very difficult to hear. But it's very difficult to hear. But yes, it's unfortunately, yeah. She just passed away in the night.
It's just a bit out of the ordinary. She doesn't normally talk about people wanting to kill her. Do you not think that was strange?
The receptionist.
I mean, perhaps it's my own fault. Perhaps it's because I haven't been here for a bit. But don't you have procedures for this stuff?
Well, we do, but there was no one to pay for them.
Oh, so it's a pay for service, right?
Well, yes, that's how the British Health Service works nowadays, right?
Well, but she's in the home, but it seems like you've got to pay for extra services in the home.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah. So, all private. Anyway, here's her room. And yeah, so she takes you to this room. She opens the door up. She kind of leaves the door open. She this receptionist bows to you. Well, this nurse bows to you and take as long as you need, she says. And as she leaves you be, you find this relatively small, pokey room. I mean, Price, you probably would have seen it. And it's not great, but in London, it's probably the best that Eileen might have been able to afford. And the thing that strikes you first, well, tell you what, yeah, you walk into the room and it looks quite tidy. What do you do?
Quite tidy?
Make a check.
Yes, make some sort of check. Is that an assess?
Some sort of check.
What are you checking for?
Things out of place, like stuff that shows that it might have been knocked over and then put back in the wrong spot, or things like that have been moved around that aren't in the usual place, or signs of an intrusion.
Okay, so yeah, that is an assess. Roll me assess. A 7. Okay. So as you closely study this place, you quickly size up. So you gain a hold. So let's give you a hold.
You're probably going to spend it right now, though. But yeah.
Yeah. So off the back of that, you get to ask one of these questions. I will answer it, and if you act upon those answers later, you get a +1 bonus. Whilst that's happening, well, whilst you're looking at questions, Bear, is there anything you're doing?
I think you've just, given that he's feeling more connected to the mother bear spirit, he's going to kind of center himself and just kind of reach out and try and sense if there's any sort of spiritual stuff going on beyond what we can see.
Yeah. Okay. So with your abilities now starting to become unlocked, you'll be able to, if you check in your character sheet, you have a sense ability.
Sense. Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. So if you, yeah. Okay. So you roll an 8. So you're also going to get hold, and you'll be able to ask a question from that list as well. But first off, Price. When... Okay, so what do I notice despite an effort to conceal it? So the thing that strikes you the most is the fact that it's tidy, right? Eileen said that she was killed. Well, the spirit has said that Eileen was killed. The nurse mentioned that she passed away in the night. Which... I mean, that might have happened, but the fact that Eileen found herself in a position where she thought she'd cast a dead man's spirit to come find you to investigate this seems a bit odd. And it doesn't appear... The tidiness kind of gives you the idea that it doesn't appear to have been a struggle. Whatever happened, happened.
Poison or pill or tablets. Possibly medicine.
Looking around, you can see that there are kind of a number of kind of prescription meds, but you notice none of the bottles are like empty, as if she's been overdosed or whatever. In terms of what, despite an effort to conceal it, you do notice on the bedside cabinet is slightly open, and as you peek inside it, you can see a little. It's almost like a scrapbook, a photo scrapbook that you've never seen before. Opening it up and looking through it, instead of photos, there are like because she's old, she was an old person living in this time. They are Matrix like news articles, but like printed off on paper and then stuck in this photo album.
How archaic.
And all of these news articles, they're not major news reporting sites. It's not like MVN News or Ceres News. these are smaller, kind of more local reporters reporting on a number of murders that have, like, bodies that have been found around the West London area.
Like she was digging into something.
Looks like she was digging into something, and like all the murders appear to be very bloody, very brutal. Borderline. The victims were torn apart by something. And like looking through, you can see all these news clips are like dated. She's written the date on them, and they're getting progressively further and further along. It's just news clips of these murders.
Okay.
So
I'll talk out aloud and ask Bear as we're going through this. So it looks like she was onto something strange here that I think we're going to have to look at, Bear. Is there any way you can track anything that she might have been near?
Price, when was the most recent murder?
I'll flip through to those recent ones.
Most recent murder was reported about a week ago.
Right, so probably not her doing the murdering then.
No.
I don't know if this was some sort of trophy, you know.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, we can. Yes, she wasn't into that sort of thing. But obviously someone was that she was trying to track down.
Bear, you've rolled an 8 on your ascent. So what question from your list would you like to ask?
I think he's reaching out because he doesn't know Eileen. He's quite new to his abilities. I suppose he's reaching out in quite a general way. So, I guess what impression do I get from this aura?
Okay, so as you center yourself, as Price is looking around in meat space, you center yourself and you take in a deep breath, and like as you open your eyes and your eyes are just white, as you start staring into the astral world. Effectively dipping your face through the veil, you can see that there is, the room is saturated with residual magic. You can see the bold, bright outline of Price being an awakened kind of. He almost illuminates the room. Your hands are just as bright, being awakened as well, or becoming awakened. And you can't see through the windows, which is normal. They just come up as like white floating squares, and like that would be fine if it weren't for this mess. Effectively, it looks as if you've stepped into a murder scene. There's just splashes of magic up the walls and across the floor, across the ceiling. Like whatever happened here, there was some sort of horrific magical fight that took place on the astral plane, not in meat space. Presumably whatever killed Eileen killed her magically.
Right. Yeah, Price. I think your old lady put up a bit of a fight.
What do you mean?
Well, it may not look like there was a struggle, but I think she gave as good as she got. There's magic everywhere. Looks like it was alright. Yeah, a real Barney here.
With him saying that, can I look into the astral plane myself?
Looking into the astral, like you're shocked by how violent the residual magic left around is to you. Like, yeah, this looks like a bloodbath, but magical.
Right.
In black and white.
In black and white.
Price, what? I mean, you know quite a bit about magic. How powerful would someone have to be to make this kind of mess? Who are we dealing with here?
Not sure, to be honest with you. To be able to get in, can I just examine the door? Is it made of wood, the door?
The door is made of wood, yeah.
How the heck did it get in?
Looking around, the two of you, like, your minds are brought back into sharp focus to the fact that not an hour ago you watched a spirit just materialize in your bedsit, your one-bedroom flat. Spirits. Spirits are like things on the astral plane. The only physical, like, the only obstacles within the astral plane are windows. Spirits, elementals, mages that are transposing into the astral plane, they can move freely through the world. They just can't move through glass.
So does this look like something a spirit itself could have done, or is it? We talking more a human mage, I guess, or not necessarily human, but
But it could be someone summoning a spirit to do its bidding to kill Eileen, by the looks of it.
Yeah. Effectively, it's a bit like the scenes in the Doctor Strange movies. So mages can have their spirits leave their bodies and travel into the astral plane and fly around at the speed of thought. But you can also summon spirits, elementals. There are creatures that magical physical creatures that exist in both worlds. It looks like Eileen, being an awakened, would have had a astral presence, much like that you two do. And something got her.
We track this thing then.
It seems that like whatever happened here, happened here. Like it was just. So I suppose by that you don't see a magical trail leading to the room besides your own. It seems that something was summoned here.
So, is it possible it was someone she knew? In order for, I mean, the reception must have let them in, and Eileen must not have initially attacked them until they summoned whatever they summoned. So, maybe she knew them or even trusted them.
Someone would have had to visit her to know where to summon the thing to. I'm assuming.
While the two of you are pondering this, downstairs, 13 floors below, Kat, you find yourself sat on the couch next to Marcus. Marcus is engrossed with this, buy at auction, renovate, reflip TV show that he's watching, prime channel 400 daytime TV.
Hey, listen, they don't have this in the UCAS, you know? Let me give some thought to this.
So what?
Still sipping whiskey out of a mug.
What are you two doing? Because there's a couple of the residents who've just kind of looked over to you. Because a cowboy and one of those young people has just wandered in and sat down. But what are you two doing?
Nothing serious.
Kat was gonna go to reception and say, "Hey, so can I just check I've got the right number for Chloe? Because I really can't get through to her. So have you got the one that ends 5678?"
The elf girl with the chroma eyes, she looks at you and are you with the
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Hang on, let me get that up. And you see her she starts tapping. As she goes, you see she's tapping with these kind of long, monstrously long fake nails. But then as you watch, the backs of her, the first segments of her fingers, they kind of lift up and effectively kind of effectively additional fingers kind of come out the backs of her fingers. So effectively, she's got 8 digits per hand. So as she's tapping, the cybernetic fingers that come out the back of her own are also
they split.
Don't like that. Don't like that at all.
She's tapping away.
I, Julia, do not like that.
He thinks it's hella cool, but no. So this woman's kind of tapping away, and she the last number we have for Chloe is this one, and she kind of shows you the vid feed, and it's a different number.
It must be. She must be on a different phone or have a new number. Sorry, I'll just. Is it okay if I take it?
Please, of course, yes.
Thank you. So Ellie's going to make a note of it and say, "Oh gosh, it's so sad about Eileen. We haven't been in a while, you see, and I just feel so bad that we didn't come that often and that we didn't come towards the end. Like, did she have some visitors before she died? Because I really hate the idea that she didn't get to see anybody.
This elf thinks about it for a second, and no, not really. No one's come to see her for a while. Certainly not while she's been
No.
She's been poorly for the past couple of weeks, maybe a month.
Yeah.
But no one's come to see her since.
Did she at least get on with the staff here? Like, did the staff spend any time with her in the last few days?
Eileen was nothing but kind and delightful to us. So, I mean, we're all pretty distraught that we, she's moved on. It's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I've got to admit. I mean, with Eileen passing, on the one hand we lost Eileen like that, and then on the other we actually had there was another patient who was similar symptoms, similar diagnoses to Eileen.
Oh really?
She recently left, but yeah, she got better.
Oh, did she? She came round. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, bless her.
She had she was having a lot of medical work done, and
okay.
Whatever, it must be some sort of revolutionary thing, because whatever she had done overcame what was described as a terminal illness. So I suppose that's just the truth of medical advances, I guess.
Lucky for some, isn't it? You can afford it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Not like poor Eileen.
No.
Well, anyway, thanks for your help. Do you have a toilet? Like, I'm feeling a bit.
Just kind of down there and second on the left.
Thank you. I'll be right back. And Ellie goes off in the direction that she pointed.
Okay. Armed with Chloe's number. So effectively, the number's been swiped over to your comm link, and the name comes up, Chloe Redmond.
Okay.
So, yeah, you have Chloe. So Chloe, Eileen's daughter. You now have her number.
Nice.
And are you picking up Marcus, or are you just leaving him where he is, or?
I'll probably sort of, as I'm about to disappear down the corridor that she pointed me to, I'll probably give him a bit of a eyes and head and sort of carry on walking.
All right. Yep. Be 2 seconds. So, and Marcus is talking to one of the old timers.
Are you Are you with the police there?
No, listen. Let me tell you about this one time we managed to run away from mass technology using speedboats. All right.
Oh,
Wait, I'll tell you about it. Just give me a second.
I wouldn't trust those Aztecs. They're they're foreign, dear.
Oh God.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Marcus get no OAP visitors to this.
Okay. Yeah. So follow cat.
In the corridor, Marcus is going to say, "Did you get her name?"
Sorry, whose name?
The old lady you were just speaking to. Did you get her name?
Do I need her name?
Mm-hmm. Did you get anyone's name in the waiting room?
I did, but I didn't. I forgot.
That's fine. It's fine. Ellie's going to be looking.
Hey, what's your name?
Like this old woman who's clearly like old school racist.
Marcus winks at her. Goes.
She
and does the guns.
Dottie! She shouts back.
All right, Dottie, see you around.
Yeah. And you see a number of the old ladies kind of look at each other and giggle like schoolgirls.
I'm gonna try and find a kind of nurse's station with a computer, and if hoping there's only going to be one person in there. Yeah, I'm on the lookout.
Okay, so yeah, going through, you find an office. Sure, it's got a male nurse in there.
Okay. I'm just gonna knock. Oh, as if I'm just passing. Oh, bye. Hello. Hi. Are you staff? a nurse?
So this orc turns around to look at you, and he's also in the kind of the slate grey blue nurses uniforms that they wear, and he yes.
Oh, sorry. We were just here visiting someone. There's a Dottie, I think, out in the main room. I don't know what she wants, but she sounded quite insistent. She needed a nurse. She looked really
she didn't look right. She
No.
froze for a second and then spoke a word and then another word. It was.
And then
strange.
she said, "Please, can I have a nurse?" So sorry to put that on you.
So this orc that's just turned to face you, he's got quite this orc has this kind of slender face, what you could only describe as like a designer goatee, and like specs, and he just, she's probably been given too much laxatives again.
Oh,
and,
sorry.
He gets up and thank you for letting me know, he says, and he kind of squeezes past you. Excuse me. And he closes the door behind him and runs off.
Marcus, grab him by his shoulder. Hey, listen, it's great work you're doing here. Let me accompany you. Make sure she's okay. And I just want to distract him so he doesn't realize Cat is not following him back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So you go with this orc nurse. And Cat,
Nice.
You make your way into this nurse's office. The computer's on.
Yay! Jacking in and doing my thing.
Okay. So if you jack in.
Okay. I guess. So I have to do a login. Oh no, a jack in. Sorry. Do I do that? I think I just jack in.
So you just jack in, and then you get to roll a console cowboy.
That's right. Did it do it?
If you're jumping onto the Matrix proper.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's no good.
console cowboy.
Into high security stuff before, and this care home is doing us run over.
Right.
So the console cowboy, you don't get any extras for.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So
Okay.
I'm just getting into the system, the nursing home system, and what I'm looking for is information on visitors in the last 24 hours, I guess, because she died in the night. So visitors over the last 24 hours and any new or replacement temp staff who've come in.
Okay.
Like someone was off sick and they brought in someone off a bank or something like that. So basically anyone kind of new who's been in the facility in the last 24 hours. And then I'm going to take that information away with me and kind of analyze it.
Sure. So what I will do is okay. So as you do a search and
do I need to log into the system? Sorry, do I need to do a login roll?
Yes.
Okay. Success.
Yeah, you're in clean. Okay, so you look around and like this nurse has just kind of left his password written on the notepad next to him. So you just as you fly in, and you go through the logs. There were visitors at the prescribed kind of visitor times, the visitor slots. So the last batch of visitors would have been like early evening, like yesterday. There was no unexpected visitors after that.
Okay.
There are no new staff. For all intents and purposes, everything was as normal.
Right. All right. So nobody unusual has come in. Anyone else have any suggestions of what?
Well, we know it's a magical attack, right? From Baron Price.
Yeah.
So that's not too weird.
Oh,
she was researching something and got magically attacked.
Sorry, what am I doing? What's the name of the lady who recently left? I want a list of people who left within the last sort of week.
So, looking through the residence log, you see that Eileen Hargreaves up on 13.8. Her record has just been like frozen. As you know, and it's changed to like clear out, like status clear out. Looking around, down on 8.14, you see that there is a room that's recently been vacated, that is currently having a new patient move in. It vacated about a week ago.
Yeah.
And a new patient moving in. And that room belongs to a Margaret Thorpe.
Lovely, thank you. Do we have any forwarding information for Margaret on the system? Like, even like a date of birth or something?
So Margaret Thorpe, there's Margaret's kind of contact details. There's also Margaret's next of kin. The next of kin being her son, David Thorpe.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, so I'm going to take all that information about Margaret as well.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, is there anything else you want to look into?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Thanks. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna relock the computer and leave.
Sure. So as you come out, Price and Bear, was there anything else you were doing up in the room? Or are you coming down now?
I think Bear would just be waiting for Price to finish doing whatever he needs to do. If Price looks like he wants a moment, Bear will stomp out and wait for him outside.
Price would definitely have a moment in there. He'd be very upset and probably once Bear's left, shed a little bit of a tear for Eileen, which will probably cause a bit of a shake to go through him. And as he clenches his fist, as he realizes that Eileen didn't go quietly, and that something's kind of in his eyes ripped her soul apart in the most horrendous way possible, and that he is not a very happy person from this. He's really having to struggle to keep his emotions in check, for literally just in the size of his faith, as well as what he understands with magic, almost just watching her trying to piece together around the room, as if he's watching her soul just being torn apart at different stages in the room. And he'll just clutch onto that book as the only sort of like link that he might have to what has happened to her. He'll probably leave all the meds, because initially he thought, oh, this could be something to see if something's been replaced, but he's definitely got the idea that something magical has come in and done this to her, so he needs to pursue that line of inquiry. How he does that, he is really at a loss. So his only direct course next is to track down next of kin to try and get a bit more information as to what has been going on.
Yeah. Well, Price, you know, given that you would come to see her, that Eileen was completely estranged from the rest of her family. She was kind of put in here to be forgotten about. Yeah, well, as you kind of rendezvous up with Ellie and the four of you kind of share stories, you can see Dottie's being aggressive as she's wheeled back to her room, just in case she has imbibed too much laxative.
I think Marcus sedated her slightly with a gel round, not shooting it, but like squishing it and like applying it to whatever, her arm or something, just to slightly poison her. Just so she, I don't know, she deserves it.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, as you share stories, like Ellie, Price, you find out from Ellie that no one can reach Eileen's next of kin, because and you kind of expect that for all intents and purposes, you are her next of kin. Nice.
I would ask, Kat, did you happen to see what was put down on the death certificate when she was taken out?
No. That would have been good though, wouldn't it?
You notice, well, from memory, there wasn't actually... It was just... So all that's on the record was like, the room's empty now. Like,
yeah.
Oh, right.
There wasn't really anything to see, unfortunately.
Yeah, the room's cleared out.
I could probably look that up from the flat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool.
So, is there anything else you want to do here while you ponder on, or do you want to do a quick recap of what you've learned?
Give us a quick recap. I don't think there's much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, okay. So, you have arrived. Eileen, the staff think that Eileen passed in her sleep, but going in and using your magic eyes, you can see that there's some sort of astral struggle, which is probably what finished her off. Eileen appears to be investigating a string of bloody murders around the local area, like the local West London area, where the victims were brutally kind of hacked apart and just found bloody and torn in various places. You also know that the staff are feeling a bit uppity because they're feeling a bit torn because on the one hand they've lost Eileen, but they've also lost someone else called Margaret. Whereas Eileen died, Margaret made a miraculous recovery from terminal illness. Was discharged.
The people who were murdered that Eileen was investigating.
Yes.
Would we have noticed, Price or I, any kind of pattern about the victims? Were they all men or women, different ages?
So the cutouts that you've got just talk about like, a male has been found murdered. A female has been found murdered, blah blah blah. It doesn't really go into any specific details. You know that what you found odd was that it wasn't really being reported by the major networks. It was only being reported by smaller, more local, more independent reporters. Amateur, if you will.
So does that imply that the victims were kind of people who nobody cared about, or they weren't sort of?
That's a good question.
Off the top of my head, I thought it's like nowadays the government doesn't just report gun crime, but it happens, and so I just assume it's more like that it's going to be the local papers that will pick up on it rather than.
I mean, I suppose the one thing you would realise is that the brutality of these murders would be newsworthy.
Oh right.
It's also very different to how Eileen died, isn't it? And it's similarly brutal, but it's physical violence rather than spiritual. Yeah. So that's quite that would have struck Bear, I think.
So what's the next plan, Marcus? What would you like to do to help in this investigation?
I think we should contact her next of kin, but the number doesn't work. So from that, can Kat find the address of the next of kin, and we can just.
Have we tried the number?
You tried the number. It just for Eileen's next of kin, but Price for Chloe, but Price, before Kat even presses dial that it will ring out.
But the receptionist said that was quite a recent thing, right?
The Chloe bit, sorry.
That Chloe hadn't been answering. That was a more recent development. The receptionist said.
Well, yeah. Well, so Price, you would know that. Yeah, Eileen's been estranged from her family for some considerable time.
Okay. How do we have Chloe's number? Is it just the next of kin? Wasn't a clue, right?
Yeah, that was just from the terminals.
Okay. Yeah. So what would be more interesting is the thing you picked up, Kat.
About Margaret.
About the Margaret, yeah.
Yeah, Margaret thought the other person who had similar symptoms to Eileen but got better and was discharged. Yeah. So I've got her. I've got her contact details, and I know who her next of kin is. So I think she would be a really good lead.
Can we get an address for
her? Have I got an address?
Doing a quick matrix search. Yeah, you will be able to get an address for the next of kin, David.
For David, not Margaret.
Margaret is listed as his residential home. That's not been updated yet.
Yeah, I just wondered because sometimes I think when people are when people are leaving, being discharged, there would often be an address for where they're going next, so the sort of pathway of care is clear.
Yeah, a forwarding address. In which case, the forwarding address is David, her son's.
Oh, okay. She's gone to her son's. All right, cool. Yeah, maybe we could.
Should we go there?
Shall we have a cover story before we go there, or? Just gonna turn up.
Price is there to provide healing and mending for the spirit. Something.
Completely
I've lost it.
unsolicited healing and mending. Excellent.
That's right.
Okay.
Unsolicited healing and mending. That's what Price does, anyways.
Yeah. Or we could say that we're from the home and that we're doing a follow-up courtesy visit to see how she's settling after her discharge, or
That. There you go.
okay.
Okay.
Are all
Yeah,
four
we
of
look
us
the part for that.
all four of us.
Yeah.
With Bear, his best kid.
Maybe I'll leave the fire axe in the car.
Maybe. Or maybe just a couple of us should go. I don't know. And the other two
think
can
it would
stay in
be
the car.
Cat and Price would be good.
Yeah, they're respectable looking members.
Yeah. Okay.
And Marco will just wait in the car with an assault rifle.
Sure.
Okay.
There you go.
So, in which case, yeah, if you're heading over to, so you're heading to David Thorpe's business. Cool.
Yeah.
So, you make your way. So David's address is East London. So you make your way all the way across town.
Should probably come up with some fake IDs of some kind before we do this. Because if we just say, "Hey, we're from the care home," they're going to go, "Really? Then why should we believe you?"
Do you want to make them, or
I'll do an illusion of them when we get there.
Okay, you can illusion them. That's fine.
We'll get a laminator.
Yeah. We've only got 48 hours, people.
I know, right? Illusion is
laminator
fine. Illusion is fine.
Okay, so as you make your way across to East London, which in comparison to West London it's worlds apart. I mean, you've been to this area before, but the high rises are tall enough that they look like they're looming and bending over you to cover up the sky. It's hard to see the stars. It's hard to see the sky up above through the smog and smoke. Although you can very clearly see the bright pinks, electric blues, and neon greens of various kind of building side boards flashing and flickering at you, trying to get you to buy the next new fad. As you head into this kind of estate area, which you've got from David's address, you make your way to his door. Price, at this point, if I can ask you to cast a spell to cast the illusion for the little things. I won't get you to use an arcana because they're only small.
Oh dear.
That doesn't sound good. Oh, that's not good.
Has it still got what's his face name on it from the past?
Oh no.
Sean Mc.
So, complications.
Have they already had a care home visit?
Maybe.
So, as I'm gonna bump that up. So the legwork clock advances, and you won't know why. But as you knock on the door, boom, 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 and it's like you notice that this door is it's a wooden door that's reinforced with like metal front and back, and a proper like prison door style slider slides open, and you see this kind of pair of eyes look through. And sorry, who are you?
Sorry, we're here from the from Pill Garden. It's a courtesy visit to check in on how Margaret's settling in. Show the ID, Price.
It is.
Okay, you hold up the ID and you do it quick enough that because it's not the magic hasn't made the letters look quite right, but you flash it it's in French rather than English. And as you flash it, you just gotta and the pair of eyes looking at you through this vision slot kind of look at it looks for you, and you notice the brow furrow, and then the thing slides, the vision slot slides closed. You hear a number of locks kind of undoing on the other side, and then this door opens, and then this somewhat nervous looking man kind of peers out from around the door at you, and I'm sorry, sir. What was that about my mother?
It's Mr. Thorpe, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So, Margaret was discharged from Pill Garden about a week ago, right? Yes?
And he...
Is she here?
Why would she be here?
We were led to understand that...
and he
that
looks
she
over
was
his
discharged as a
shoulder
breath.
and... Ben, have you heard from my mother? And you hear another voice from inside. No? Why would I have heard from you? And then David kind of leans back in front of you again and... I think you better come in, he says, and he opens the door and kind of ushers you into this... into this hallway that's cluttered and... it's just cluttered and somewhat run down. It's a hallway that implies that this man is doing his best with what he's got, but is struggling quite clearly. The two of you are let in, and David kind of looks around as you enter in, like looks left and right down the alleyways and closes the door behind you. I'm sorry. What do you mean my mother was discharged?
So your mother was a resident of Pill Garden, correct?
She still is.
Oh. Well, we were told that she was discharged. Sorry, we've been employed by the residential home to do a courtesy visit because she was discharged a week ago to your address, according to the system.
And the man kind of looks a bit confused, looks a bit stunned, and I knew she'd do this. I knew she'd do this. He says,
I'm
and
sorry?
he kind of pushes past you. Excuse me, sorry. Tea, coffee, like tea, soy caf.
I'm all right, thank you.
Okay, and he looks distracted. He leads you in. You see this, like he leads you into like a kitcheny area. It's a Bedsit, sort of similar to what you have. And as David walks in, this other man looks up and what's happening? What's this about your mother? And you presume this to be Ben. And David turns around and she's gone and discharged herself from the residential home. And Ben David's partner, looks around and sorry, are you with the home?
We are, yes. We were led to believe that your mother was here. I'm so sorry.
The two men kind of look at each other and like David takes a deep breath, like you see him in, like there's a slight kind of frustration / panic in his eyes, and he just, you know what, I can't do this. I'm sorry, and he kind of pushes past you and he just leaves. You hear a door slam somewhere in the apartment, like somewhere in the room, and you're just left alone with this kind of awkward looking man sat at the desk with with like lunch. Well, it's probably dinner at this time.
Yeah.
And he looks at you and I'm Ben. I'm David's. So his mum's gone.
Yes.
Child's full recovery, apparently.
David.
Were you aware that she was ill?
Oh, we were more than aware. Yes, yeah. She yeah, we're more than aware. And we're also
Last time you saw her,
we're more than aware that she was trying to get better. But we didn't realise it had worked.
What do you mean? Was she seeking alternative means to recovery then?
Ben furrows his brow and, well, of course, I mean she was having all of those implants, you know, all the cybernetics, like the neural plates to help with her memory, the muscle grafts to help with her mobility. She's just, and he looks at you. You would have seen it being at the home, though, wouldn't you?
Sorry, I should have been clear. We're employed by the home. We're actually from a different company.
Right.
We make the home visits.
I see. It's been tough ever since she found out about all these potential cybernetic cures. She's just been insistent on trying to solve something that's terminal. Like, yeah, even with everything that we can do, it's still terminal. But she's just been blowing through David's inheritance and everything to try and get better. And when that ran out, well, she started just taking things out in David's name.
Oh.
There's and he kind of looks over and there's a stack of letters, like stack of letters on the table, like on the counter over to the side. You notice that some of them are stamped with Genesis, like the head of Genesis Life Tech, and she's had so many implantations. I don't know how we're going to pay off any of it.
Oh.
And it's all in his name.
That is unfortunate. I'm very sorry to hear that.
I suppose I'm shocked because as we understood it, none of it was working. That's why she kept on doing it. So I suppose it's good.
Do you know what the last one that she had installed then was, or the last thing she attempted?
He shrugs, and I mean, I think there just came a point where it was borderline. It almost felt borderline cosmetic after a point, but to battle her mind going, she started having neural implants installed to ease her joints. She started having muscle grafts installed. She's paid to have her eyes replaced, and like as he's saying it, he's leafing through these letters, these like invoices in effect. He's leafing through them. There's probably hardly anything left of her, truthfully. But
and were they all from Genesis Life Tech?
You notice that they're from an array of medical corporations.
Ben, how well do you know Margaret?
Well enough for a mother-in-law.
Where do you think she'd go? Because we still have a duty of care to check in on her.
Well, I mean, we were under the assumption that she was still infirm and losing her mind, so she'd be despite all these implants. I mean, I'm still surprised that you're saying she's better.
Well, this is what the home have reported. They, as I say, we just get given the details of who needs a visit, but what they told us is that she recovered and was discharged to this address, so here we are.
He thinks about it, and I don't know.
That could have been an error, of course. Maybe they gave your details simply because David's the next of kin, and actually she went somewhere else.
The last time we saw her, she was utterly desperate because she was telling us that the cybernetics weren't working. I don't know where she'd have gone, but I don't know how she would have gotten better. I'm sorry. I mean, she was getting to the point where she was seemingly trying to do anything to cure herself. She just didn't want to accept the inevitability.
Not just thinking, not actually saying anything. To Ben, is there anything sort of like underground wise that we might know of people who can supply or help if she's got to sort of like that level of desperation.
He looks a bit shifty. He looks a bit kind of unsure. He kind of looks you up and down. I'm not. Yeah, he's kind of umming and erring. Potentially, Bryce, roll me a fast talk. See if it seems like he knows something about it, but
could I delve into his brain a little bit to do that, please? Because I can use my manipulation as a fast talk.
You can indeed.
Nice. Sweet.
Oh dear, not doing very well this week, people.
Oh, rolls are not hot.
Not very good.
One of those weeks.
I think you should levitate him.
Yeah, it's gonna get nasty in a bit.
Okay, so off the back of a 5, so that actually, if we look at your cast a spell, because that's kind of what it is, right?
Am I very obvious in my ability to read his mind?
So the complications of cast a spell are the flows of magical energy are too weak to harness or fail to control the energy you do pull together. I will make a move. So you managed to dive into Ben's mind ever so briefly, and he doesn't seem to want to tell you. He doesn't want to say it, but you pick up a name. And the name is Lucas Highsender.
Highsender.
That's the Bryce. That is a name that you've just found. Lucas Highsender. And as you drum up that name, you hear a number of like loud knocks. On the front door. Outside, Bear and Marcus, you have you've seen, like looking up to where Ellie and Price are. You've seen 2 uniformed NLPD officers just head up to the apartment that they're in. And you
Can I send a photo to Kat?
Yeah, absolutely. You send the photo as you see one of them begin to rap on the door. Ellie, you get a picture through to your comm link of 2 NLPD officers at the front door.
And Marcus will attach saying "need backup?" interrogation mark to Ellie.
I'll just send back unclear currently.
Are we sat in the car still in the sedan?
Yeah, all right. Bear, get the axe out. I'll get the assault rifle. Let's go.
I think Bear would just start honking the horn to try and attract the officer's attention to buy time.
Okay. So, inside the apartment, you hear another. Hello, NLPD, open up! And then outside Bears, you. And you see the NLPD officers look down and they're peering over the railings to see, pointing at you in the sedan as you honk it like an angry dog.
Bear, can you not? God damn it!
And Ben, any idea why the NLPD might be here?
Ben, maybe it's something about Margaret?
Could be. Did you want to answer the door and we'll just hang back?
Ben just kind of nods and he gets up. You hear the door opens, and you hear muffled conversation from the corridor. Oh, how can I help you? Where's the NLPD? We were just wondering if you had a few moments to talk about your do you know? Do you have any relation to Margaret Thorpe? Oh yeah, that's my mother-in-law. What's happening? Oh well, yeah, just wondering if we could come in and have a few words with you.
Right. So, is there a back door with like a fire escape or anything, or a window that goes out onto a fire escape that we can?
Price and Ellie, you see that there is a window in this kitchen that you could potentially clamber out of.
What floor are we on?
You're on the 3rd floor.
Is there anything to clamber onto? Oh.
You could precariously make your way. Like there's a system of like gutter pipes and like stick out roof bits that you could try to.
That sounds like a recipe for harm. Why
We
don't you
can do this, Ellie. Do you have some sort of recording device we can chuck in there? Because it could be that they've found Margaret.
Please, can I have a little bug on me that I can leave in the... So can I could do a produce equipment.
You haven't got any items though. Like
When you
item
produce the
tokens.
equipment, you need it the right... Ugh, then gear, you're right. I don't have any gear. Gosh darn it. I can't.
So,
no.
I mean, at the worst, you could clamber out and try to listen in.
Or we could hide in the loo and hope they don't need the loo.
You were just visiting that apartment, though.
What do you mean?
What we need is a drone. We need to invest. I think.
Yeah, I think we need to invest in drones. Yes, but we don't have them right now. So what are we going to do? Price. Out the window or in the loo and listening?
We need to hear what is going on, because if it turns out that they've found Margaret's dead body and they've come to tell her, and then we spend the next 12 hours trying to find Margaret.
Okay. Maybe we could... Well, the NLPD clearly are not here for us.
No.
But we could just chill and say, oh, yes, we're here from the home.
Yeah.
Just sort of play it cool.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Bear and Marcus can rush in if it gets...
Yeah, I'll let Marcus know if it gets spicy.
But Bear's got his plastic bag of grenades out from under the seat, and he's like, Marcus, do you reckon it's time for these?
Yeah, grab the axe. I'll get this cocked up, and then I'll get some extra mags, and then.
So,
which bit do I throw? Is it the pin or the round bit? Or should I just throw the whole bag?
Yeah, no, you know what? You hit with the bag.
Is there any way? It sounds like a disastrous thing, but is there any way we can communicate to Marcus and Bear? If the patrol car's out there, could they try and find information out about the murders from the computer database in the patrol car while we're inside? Although it's the worst two people to possibly do that, it could be a...
Yeah, no, quite. But I mean, in terms of communication, you all literally have phones. That's
well, it's just while people are in the room, it's explaining them.
You just send a WhatsApp.
We can text.
Welcome to the future, Jake. You can text.
I don't just roleplay this character. I live it.
You can probably text with your mind. Let's be real.
Okay, so
probably possible.
So are the two of you staying in this kind of kitchen area, looking as innocent as possible?
Yep.
Okay, so
definitely.
And meanwhile, Marcus, Bear, are you snooping around this NLPD?
Yeah, we're gonna vandalize it. Let's
go.
Cool.
So, we'll stick with Ellie and Price. The two of you just kind of try to look as innocent as possible as Ben comes in. As he kind of comes back in, like David shouts out, "What? Who is it, Ben?" It's the police, David. So we've already got visitors actually, and Ben kind of comes around the corner, and these kind of two NLPD officers. So they come around. They're in their dark navy blue uniforms with their with the NLPD badge, like shoulder pad on one shoulder. You can't see their faces for the reflective black visor that kind of covers their face, like over from the helmet. But the two of them just kind of stop and sort of like look at the two of you, and they kind of look to one another. They look back, and one of them says, "Well, we would prefer to speak about this alone, but if you're happy for us to discuss the matter with your guests." And Ben turns and says, "Oh, they're from the care home that my mother was at." And the two police officers look, and one of them tilts. you assume it's a he, tilts his head, and they kind of look at each other again. And when was the last time that you saw your mother? Is it your mother? Oh, your mother-in-law. When was the last time that you saw Margaret Thorpe? And Ben, goes on to recite the same sort of story that he's told you to. We're actually looking for in connection with a number of homicides in West London.
How dare.
And Ben looks for a moment, blinks, and just laughs.
Price is going to just randomly text the WhatsApp group now. He's learned how to do this, and just trying to put things in his head of we've encountered lots of cyber enhanced creatures before that seem to be vampiric, that seem to is there any connection to this lady getting all the cyber implants she wants to make herself good, and then happen to be bloody murders around as well? Is that any connection to these vampire things we've been tracking for many times?
Who are you sending this to?
The group as a text.
Like as Ben kind of coughs and splutters, Price and Ellie, you won't really be able to talk all that much with the NLPD in the room. But if we switch over to Marcus and Bear, you get this message from Price saying about, or asking those questions like what's going on. Do we think there's any recollection? How are you going to go about getting into this police car?
Right. Marcus replies, yes. Send. All right, Bear, grab the axe. Let's go. Full time.
It's like doing practice swings with his plastic carrier bag of grenades into the window.
No. The axe, Bear.
All right then. And they just like.
Right. Hit right here. Right in the corner, and then the other corner, and then right through the window. Let's go.
Are you just smashing the window of this car?
Sure.
Yeah, with the sort of butt end of the axe, because he thinks that's going to be quieter.
I've got a bandana up, and I've tried to mask Bear's identity as well. But yeah, we're just going to vandalize the car.
Right. Okay. Yeah, Bear. Okay, so if you're using your axe to gain entry to this this NLPD, and it's not like a high grade like assault van or interceptor or anything like that, just like a standard patrol car. But that sounds quite violent, so please provide me a mix it up with your intended objective being to gain entry to this car.
Sweet. Oh yes.
Okay, so at that point, you flex, you roll your shoulder, you put the butt of the fire axe against the corner, and you just bang, like Marcus has said, do all four corners. You just go for the middle and pop, like the whole window smashes in. Nice. Surprisingly quietly, like just the sound of kind of breaking glass. And as the two of you, like Marcus, as you look down to Bear, as you look up to Marcus, you both turn to look. And you just see this like young kid, like with a comm leak in his hand, just watching you slack-jawed. He's only about 9 or 10, and you just hear him go, "That was cool," and he just scampers off.
Staying cool, kid.
Okay, so you now have access to this patrol car.
I will do a search.
Okay.
Probably is a move to search. What is the move to search?
So what is it you're searching for?
Documents.
Or the computer, I guess.
Yeah, a computer or a bunch of papers or some documents that might provide information as to what the case is.
Okay, so if you can throw me a...
Is it reveal knowledge? Research?
I have this image of the pair of you just presenting a console to Cat.
That might be what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we just ripped the entire dashboard out of this car.
There you go.
So in effect, basically inside this NLPD patrol car, there will be like a console, NLPD console, that you'll be able to get into. So I'm actually gonna ask you.
Shit, no paper version of.
I'm actually gonna ask you.
So, Marcus, Cat showed us how to do this, remember?
Yep. Bear, we're gonna have to steal the car.
Drive it into the house.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We have to steal the car and give it to Cat.
Marcus,
Please don't.
in your character sheet, I've just
Yeah.
dropped the login matrix move.
I'm sorry, what? I mean, it's gotta be me is the thing. It can't be Bear, right?
You will. So you can't use your synth. Hang on, let me.
But I think it is synth, anyways.
Hang on, let me just check.
Can I do it?
Although that's the idea is that you're doing it through a deck.
That's the thing. That's.
I'm gonna because it's not yours. I'm gonna be mean and say it's mine. So with that in mind, Bear, do you want to help out?
I don't know if I do really.
Listen,
Because do I make it worse if I try and help and fail?
If you
A bit.
yeah, so you get a minus. Well, well, if you fail, then you get caught up in the consequences.
My mind is
Double or
0.
nothing.
No, help. Yeah, but my mind is -1, so.
But I'm actually
wow.
Bear's got better mind than okay. Yeah, well
But
maybe you should help me, Marcus. Stand aside.
Let's help each other out with this. So you help me, and then I'll do the roll.
What are your links like?
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, well, I'll help. Sure.
Okay.
Do the roll. Do the roll.
So Marcus, are you linking with Bear?
Sure.
So Marcus, if you roll links,
Is that a move?
it should be. So it's help or interfere, and your link with Bear is +1.
Roll. Hey.
Hey,
Oh,
very nice.
Okay, so
you do your roll then, right?
so yeah, Matt, you now do your roll, and you get a +1, presumably.
Yeah. What was it again? Sorry.
Wait,
It is a. Oh, sorry, it's a login. So
Log in.
let me. If you just roll mind, I think you should just be able to click on mind.
I'd like to know
Yeah.
why Bear knows more about this than Marcus.
Oh no. He's lived up to character.
Wait, we didn't add any modifiers to that.
One.
That's fine. So
well, that's because your mind is plus.
yeah, adding
What is
1
your mind?
would
It's
be
0?
6. Okay,
Six,
so
which is still.
matrix moves.
Sorry, we're doing matrix moves now? What's going on?
So as you log in,
We
okay,
don't want to
so-
do this, Dan. We just want to steal the
He looks
papers.
physically uncomfortable.
Right. So
I wanted to use my grenades.
Ben,
It's not.
so Bear, you manage to you look at this contraption, right? And
Yeah.
you're just you do your best to do.
Listen,
you do your best.
Press that one. No,
Yeah,
press
you
the
just
other
tapping
one.
buttons, and you're like, whoa, and you're trying to do your best Ellie impression as the two of you just poking away at buttons, and somehow you manage to get in.
Yes.
Somehow you managed to get in. However, upstairs in the apartment, one of the NLPD officers you notice kind of looks down at the comm pad on their wrist, and they kind of lean in, and you can hear as they talk quietly over their intercoms, and that NLPD officer then leaves, excuses himself, and then leaves the apartment. Also, because I get to, so effectively complications, you're in, but I choose 2. So
Fantastic.
let's see.
Why are we activating ice? We don't want to activate ice, Dan.
Okay, so
Everyone wants to activate ice.
yeah, so the system begins tracing your location. So once you're in, you'll be able to, so you can have a little look around. So what you're looking for information on the
On the case, yeah.
on the case. So
Nudes.
if you're looking for that, that's actually going to
Right.
be
Bear, you go into folders. All right. Admin. No, not admin.
It's just now
Operations.
you're gonna have to. Okay, give me a research off the back of this.
What are we doing? Both of us? One of us?
I think
up
the dream team needs to keep helping each other. Really, yeah.
I'll help you do the thing. How about that?
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Oh wait, you help me. You help me. Do
I'll
that.
help you this time. Yeah. Okay, so
Bear and I literally sat in the car now.
Yeah. So Marcus, as you muscle your way in onto the screen, now it's logged in. So Bear, if you give me a help or interfere, and Marcus, if you give me a research.
+1, isn't it, for me and Marcus? So.
Yeah.
As research mind? Oh, it's balls.
No.
Marcus, right? Give me a help or interfere. A research. 8, 9. Okay. So you take intel. The MC will no, wait, sorry, you don't get the +1, but that actually doesn't matter. Okay, so you get an 8. So Marcus, you get some intel. Oh, blimey. Marcus, you managed to. What is it specifically from those questions?
Who? What is most? What is what?
So I guess where would I find?
Where would I find the folder that has the document?
Well, so you found the document, the folder that would contain the information. What information specifically are you looking for?
Why are the policemen?
Yeah, what's the latest? Like, where would we find her? I suppose.
Are you not? What is the relationship between Margaret and the murders?
Yeah, that's kind of.
That's good.
What are the policemen here to investigate? So
okay,
yeah.
In which case, yeah. So if you go down that idea of what is the relationship between, as you bring up the kind of incident files, the incident cases, you can see that there are a number of you find a number of vid feeds. You see this it's a grainy image of like a dark alley. There are a couple of figures just kind of stood around.
Bear, film this. Bear, take the camera, and we'll take a photo of this, and then hold the phone. There we go. Because we don't know how to download it, so we're just.
Just starts recording a video of himself looking puzzled.
So this video, you see there's these two figures in like some sort of kind of alleyway of some sort, and this is coming off some grainy shop CCTV or something like that.
Yeah.
They appear to be kind of like they've kind of got their shoulders up. They're looking a bit shifty. They're talking to each other. You see one hand something to the other, and then something else is handed back, and then you see them kind of do a little kind of warrior handshake type thing. And at this point, you see a third figure kind of emerge from the bottom of the screen, and it appears to be. This is a much smaller figure, not wearing dark clothes by the looks of it.
Knitted wear?
Say again?
She got knitted wear on or something?
A bit hard to tell, but you see these two figures turn to look, and you see them kind of they appear to be laughing, kind of slapping. One of them slaps the other on the chest, and then this third figure just kind of approaches them. You see one of the original figures reach into their coat and pull out a weapon of some sort. You assume it's some sort of knife, and you see him with a gesturing hand with the other, almost as if he's demanding something. The third figure stops, studies the two for a moment, and then you watch as it drops into a crouch and then springs at them like a cat. The first figure is bowled with the knife, is bowled to the floor. You see a struggle, and then there's the first figure just goes limp. The second looks stunned, goes to turn and run, and doesn't get more than about 3 meters before that second figure is pounced on. There is a struggle. You see an arm get ripped off. And then this third figure just kind of on top. It looks like he's being bitten.
Gosh.
Right, more of that. Yeah, nice. Next video.
The video then ends with this third figure kind of getting up, wiping across its face, and then turning to leave in the direction it came from. And at the last moment, the figure happens to look up at the CCTV, which then kind of expands and refocuses, and it appears to be a little old lady in what appears to be a knitted jumper.
Nice. Cool.
You can't get blood out of that knitwear.
Seems that didn't feed him that well at the care home, Marcus.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Like, are you going to look for more, or are you going to get out of Dodge?
Yeah, we kind of want more information. We like the name of some of the people that were murdered. Maybe is that what we want?
Yeah, or just any sightings of her since then. If there's a manhunt going on.
Can we make a research on Price's friend?
Eileen Hargreaves. Yeah, you can give me another research check.
How about I assist and Bear does it?
Yeah.
Sure.
I want to stop you, but you're not in. I'm not in a position to do that. Then, right?
Listen, this is the dream team right here.
Yep.
This is we were born for this job.
Tracking Eileen.
Help
on the computer.
Prompt
Okay.
+1. Okay, roll. Yeah.
Okay, so Bear, you are helped by Marcus. Give me a research check, and you get +1.
We're beating the odds here. Well done. Nice one, Bear.
5.
So, Bear, as you start pressing the buttons, you go, get out of the way. You start pressing the buttons, and Marcus is like, no, push that, tap that. You hear, stop what you're doing! Hands up!
Oh no.
And as you turn and look, there is an NLPD officer stood at the side of the car with a gun aimed at you in the passenger seat, Bear.
How close is he? How close is the gun to me?
The NLPD officer is clever enough that he's stood far enough away.
Okay, yeah.
But you aren't a normal combatant, so potentially, like, you're faster than most because of your key. But yes, this NLPD officer shouts to you, "Out the car! Hands on your heads!"
Listen, all right. No problems. Yeah. Marcus,
is this not our car? Have you let us into the wrong car again?
Listen, you know what happens when I get a bit too much? Hey, who are you?
I'm sorry about him. He's always doing this.
Where's my whiskey?
There's a distinct as the gun cocks.
Oh no.
Bear, you're closest to the NLPD officer. What do you do?
Man, I think Bear would probably, when he hears the gun cock, he'd probably grab the guy's arm and try and pull his head into the side of the door.
Okay, that sounds quite violent. So roll to mix it up.
Okay, this is high stakes.
Do I want to?
It really is.
Should I assist? I feel like I could assist, but I don't know how. By getting out of the car? So no, I wouldn't. Nice. Oh my
Hey,
god.
success!
13.
A really good one.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I am literally good at one thing, and it is this.
Okay.
Some people's arms off, you wiki.
Yeah, basically.
As this NLPD officer, he shouts, "Get out of the car!" And like Marcus behind you shifts, just enough to make the NLPD officer, like, you see his head turn to look at Marcus, and that split-second opening is all you need, and you spring out of the passenger seat, and then within a split second you're up in the grill of this NLPD officer with one hand on the gun, like the gun wrist. What is it you're doing to him?
Basically, grabbing the front of his clothes or whatever and pulling his head into the door frame.
Okay.
Just to kind of knock him out.
In which case, yeah, you manage to kind of grab his body armor, and you pull him forward into the car frame, like the door frame, with such force that the mirrored black visor breaks, and sort of you hear him like shout out as the glass kind of bits of visor go into his face.
Nice.
And he rocks back, he drops the gun, he drops to the ground. He's kind of thrashing about. Are you just kind of putting him out of his misery, or knocking him out, or?
Marcus, can you open the boot for us?
Yeah. All right, Bear. Open the boot.
Okay. And you slab
remove his phone. Remove his phone. Remove all this shit, and then we chuck him in there.
So you chuck this very grumpy NLPD officer in his own boot. Okay, cool. So as you slam the boot shut, and the two of you look at each other over the bonnet, which is, the car's shaking as this guy's thrashing around on the inside. As you peer through the back window, you can see the console that you were prodding and poking at before the NLPD officer interrupted you. What was it you were looking for specifically again?
A link with Price's friend.
Hargreaves.
Yeah, Hargreaves.
So you basically, because you were going for like known, like associates kind of thing.
Sure.
You don't see, or sort of like persons of interest. Sorry, you're looking at persons of interest. You don't see Eileen Hargreaves. The name you see is Lucas Hysender.
Is that a name familiar to us, me?
Yeah.
Not to you, but to everyone else, yes.
Because Marcus has a Lucas, but it's not the same Lucas.
It's not. No, it's a different Lucas.
Got a Lucas Hysender in connection with Margaret Thorpe.
Okay.
Okay.
So with this NLPD officer incapacitated in his car, Ellie and Price, what are you doing?
We were standing around awkwardly listening to what the NLPD officers were saying to Ben, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we get a picture on our phone of them two sort of like doing this in front of a police car?
100%. And his thing, Marcus is wearing this guy's body armor now. So we're taking his stuff. We're just looting in the car now.
Okay.
We have absolutely.
I'm just gonna hold you there on that thought. Let's grab a 10-minute break as you can mull this all over. See you in 10 minutes.
See you in a bit.
See you then.
Okay, bye.
Ben.
Bye.
Hi, Jake here. Being a team player is a Shadowrunner's greatest strength, and you too can become a member of the team by clicking the subscribe button and staying afloat of all our latest missions.
Welcome back, Shadowrunners.
Oh.
Hey, cool.
Hello.
So,
Hello.
We're doing good. We're doing well.
You're doing well. So, we rejoin our runners as they are split into two teams of two. Bear and Marcus are currently downstairs in the parking, like the car park area of this estate, this kind of council-esque estate, with a NLPD officer they've just overpowered, thrashing around in the boot of his own patrol car. Yes. Meanwhile, said NLPD officer's partner is upstairs in the property of David Thorpe, a witness that, a person of interest that Price and Ellie are currently kind of interrogating, and there's just been a couple of surprising revelations from the NLPD. But Price and Ellie, you get a quick message from Marcus, very briefly explaining what has just happened.
It's just a photo again. It's a selfie of us with the policeman in the boot.
Sure. So as you kind of get this photo, Ellie, what do the two of you do? Because you realise this other NLPD officer will eventually call in to their partner.
How much have we heard of the conversation between Ben and the NLPD officer?
So the NLPD officer is just kind of freely talking because Ben said it's all right. So yeah, this NLPD officer has effectively said that they're looking for Margaret Thorpe as a person of interest in a number of murders across West London. Ben, so the son-in-law, has laughed at this, scoffed at this idea.
I think this is a family matter. I think we should probably let ourselves out. Is that all right, Ben?
Ben turns and of course, I'll let David know that you've gone.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, officer. What was that? And then the two of you
sneak out, close the door gently behind us, and hoon it downstairs.
Okay. So yeah, sure enough, you find Bear and Marcus stood around this.
We're making TikToks. basically. With Bear. All right, Bear, get on the car.
Delete all the video. Delete every video you just made.
All right,
Do not release anything.
Stop no, it's good.
We need to go right now.
All right.
Okay. So as you all very quickly, well, two of you seemingly hurry over to Price's car. The other two seem a lot more relaxed. As you get into this luxury sedan, what do you do?
I'm going to vote that we retreat to a safe distance,
yes.
and then we're going to try and figure out where we could find this Lucas Hysender.
Yeah.
Or what we can find out about him. Maybe Ellie will do a Matrix run.
Should we go back to the ghost?
Go back to the ghost. Go on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I don't know who's going to know anything about it, but yeah.
You'll be able to do a proper research there.
Proper research, exactly.
Okay, in which case, yeah, you make it back to your apartment in kind of South London, like just outside the the Brixton containment zone. And as you come in, you find Josh in the kind of kitchen area. He's opened a bag of pasta, like dry pasta,
right?
And he's like hiding behind the kitchen counter that separates like the kitchen from the living room, and like it's like a kitchen island kind of thing. And every so often he pops up and throws a bit of dry pasta, which just goes through the form of the spirit. The spirit, utterly oblivious to what's happening, and appears to just be watching the TV intently.
Josh, stop messing with him.
And Josh, but it's so cool, he says.
I need to get you a book or something. You're really bored, aren't you?
The spirit stands, slowly rises from the couch and turns to face you.
What have you found?
Does the name Lucas Hysender mean anything to you?
No.
Cool, good talk. Nothing then. Very little so far, but we're on a trail.
Okay.
Yeah, Kat, you can find him in your doohickey, can't you?
Yeah. He'll be in the old deck somewhere. There, don't worry, I'll find him.
Okay. Marcus, what are you doing now you're back home?
I'm staying well away from the ghost.
Okay.
Not into that.
So after
are you? Cool.
So go on.
Any chance you're going to scrub off the words police off of your new set of body armor, or do you think we need a police uniform?
No, I'm taking all the police gear and I'm packing it and putting it somewhere. There you go.
Okay, cool. So yeah,
I'm trying to not show it to Josh because I know Kat will get angry. I'm like, oh, don't look this way. Don't.
Okay, so as you pack your stuff back into various bags, Bear, are you doing anything particular?
He's sat on the sofa next to the ghost, opened up his carrier bag, and is like counting. Marcus, I think I may have left one of my grenades back in that car. I think it probably dropped in the boot with the guy when we put him in there.
That's right. Was the pin with the grenade? Did you have a pin in the box?
He just pulls out a pin out of this bag. What, this pin?
Oh, what the heck?
Put it back in the grenade. Put it back in the grenade.
How many pins and how many grenades have you got?
Does he have time to count?
7 pins and 6 grenades.
Oh, would you not have noticed if the grenade you left in the car had gone off? Or has it got like a 5-minute counter on it?
I think you can hold it like so that it doesn't detonate. But as soon as it
oh my god!
As soon as it like unreleases, it might explode. So
he's just huddled in this boot, touching this grenade.
Awful. That is awful.
So Price, is there anything you're doing? What you've noticed is that as you've entered the apartment, the spirit is now is stood like between the couch and the TV, the vid feed, and is just watching you again.
Yay. Okay. I'm gonna look for this journal of Eileen's, of all the different murders, and see if I can recognise Just catch up on what all of her investigation has been of, like what little connections and things that she's been putting together from these killings.
So the articles haven't. The articles are just like, oh my god, brutal murder, and it's only through seeing them all kind of listed out over that you realise that the MO is pretty similar through them all. Marcus and Bear, I assume you would have shared what your knowledge with Price and Ellie.
Yeah, I think so.
Got a name.
I was interested with that video they shared in the sort of handshake the two thugs did. Is that a gang handshake that she had gone and might lead us to the people who have been attacked by Nanny Assassin Vampire Borg?
You could do a quick. You could do a quick hit the street to find out.
Oh, well, yeah, we're going to be great at that, are they?
How much style have you got?
Hit the street. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Partial success, not
Okay.
bad.
I've seen them do it at the youth outreach.
Okay, so you will get what you want if I can get you to choose. So as you go out and kind of speak to some of the kids, like the youths in the local area, choose 2 poisons from the list, please.
It has to be done fast.
I reckon, being Price, it will attract unwanted attention. And what do we reckon? Cost a bit of time or contact?
We don't really have time.
We're quite light on time, yeah.
It's going to have to be the last one. The contact needs your help.
Unless they want help right now, in which case
cost you extra.
Yeah, maybe it costs extra.
You have to pay for the info.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so
cost you extra.
As you approach, you approach a group of kids. They're kind of effectively hanging around this kind of fenced off kind of basketball area, that sort of thing, and it's a big group of them. And they kind of see you come in. You see them kind of like bumping elbows with one another, like gesturing, nodding their heads over in your directions. Yeah, you hear one of them shouting, "You lost straight, man!"
He's in there, lads. Got a minute?
They all shrug and look at each other. Talk.
Yeah, well, you know how it is. Any of you not seen anything like this? And I'll try and imitate the old handshake. Here's some people from this gang maybe been having problems, been a bit hurt recently.
They look at each other again. This group, it's a group of about 12 teenagers, and yeah, they range from sort of like 14, 15 up to probably like late teens. And they kind of look at each other, and you hear them sniggering, and like you don't understand the words they're saying, but you don't imagine that they're very nice things that they're saying about you. And the leader of the pack, for all intents and purposes, kind of steps forward and I don't know, man. I don't know anything about no gangs. Maybe you can give me something to help me figure it out.
Like
creds, bruv.
Creds.
And like he kind of clicks his tongue and looks his face. Yeah, man. Maybe we do know stuff, but like I say, bruv, we're not part of no gangs.
Anything else apart from creds? What are you gonna do with money?
They look at you and, nah, man, I ain't into that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, do I give them creds or do I illusion some creds for them?
Ooh, that's cheeky.
How bad is this gonna go?
That's gonna go real bad for you.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's gonna go real bad.
I think you should do it.
The whole point of the complication is it costs you extra. Just give him a cred. Come on.
I'll give him the cred. I'll give him the cred
He's
for
going to
it.
be knifed to death over one cred.
Okay, so
So ends Bryce killed by a gang of 14-year-olds.
so you hand this ringleader like a cred stick with some of your creds on it, and like they look at it and sort of like one of them like swings it past their colleague, and you hear him. He sort of looks at the amount you've just given him, and sheesh. He says he looks up and all right, rich man, what do you want to know?
Where did this happen, and who are these people?
I
want to find their friends.
He looks to it and it's not one of our boys. Just looks like some shitty street dealer, doesn't it?
What's he dealing?
Why? What happened to him? Has he ripped you off? Has he ripped you off, man? Has he ripped you off? Has he done you dirty, man?
I'll flick over to the next screen showing the aftermath of the two of them.
Oh, did you do that, man? That's sick, man.
Oh.
I won't answer under the impression that they can have the impression that I might have, but I don't want them to try.
Mate, is that knitted wear, man? Do you go around in knitted wear ripping off people's arms, man? That's sick. Oh, mate, look at this. Look at this, mate. Oh, can I have this video, mate?
No.
I want this video, mate.
You're not having the video.
Whatever. Whatever, rich man. Whatever. He's not one of us. Probably looks like some nobody, doesn't it?
These two ain't no nobodies. They're dealing something in this area. You must know who they are.
Not in this area, bruv. Like, ain't no one deals stuff in our area. You hear?
And you ain't had any crazy old ladies in this area.
Why are you looking for a girlfriend, mate? Nah.
I'm beginning to lose it with this.
Love a grenade. Let's get over there with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They one of the other Utes kind of leans in and yeah, nah, mate, that isn't that bloke from like over west, over Wheezy. Yeah, he was the one giving us shit the other week, mate.
What was he selling?
I don't know, man. I've never tried it.
Really?
But I mean, whatever it is, it's probably not very good, is it? Probably shit. I mean, it's shit enough that his mate got his arm ripped off in it, bruv.
So I detect he's lying a bit to me.
The boys seem genuinely gleeful enough. But
Well,
actually,
I don't think they don't really know much. I think.
yeah, it seems like so. Whoever this dealer of the video of a dealer that gets de-armed appears to be some, yeah, from what you gather, is some West London low-level dealer. Like almost like you hear one of the crowd of kids just shouts out like street scum.
Wow.
Okay.
I was just trying to work out whether this they're after a particular drug that she was, because the video seems to suggest that he was sort of like beckoning her over to make a deal. So that's what I was thinking in my head. But
so in the video, he's beckoning her over, but he's also got like a knife.
Right. Okay.
In his hands, so it looks like he's
Rob her.
trying to mug her.
Just trying to rob her. Okay.
Okay. So we know
Okay.
the
But west
target-
side.
Nothing special.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your help, lads.
And the boys look to you and, yeah, whatever, rich man.
Huh.
and like as you turn away, you hear one of the group say, "Hey, are you gonna share that out, bruv?" Nah, bruv. Nah, this is mine, man. You see this kind of older lad just wander off with a cred's worth of cred.
Wow.
Nice.
Has anyone seen Peep Show? They were giving me major
Yeah.
clean shirt vibes.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Okay, so
Shaun of the Dead, not Shaun of the Dead, Spaced, where he gets into the drug situation with the, with the pistols. It's a bit like that. Sorry.
So Ellie, back at the flat. Price has gone out to do some research. But what are you researching on the Matrix?
Lucas Hysender. Who is he? What does he do? And where can we find him?
Okay, so if I could have you roll, because you can use the Matrix as your library, if you will. So if I can have you roll research.
Yes. So I got to roll research. It's an 8.
8.
The partial success.
So you can take intel. Bear in mind, Marcus, you also have an intel that you can use at some point if it comes up. Okay, but yeah, ask your question.
Do I use this intel now?
No, that is intel that you can just hold until later.
Oh, cool. Okay. My question is, would it be more helpful, guys, to ask where would I find Lucas, or what is the relationship between him and Eileen/Margaret?
I think if we can find him, we can beat everything else out of him, can't we?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So where would we find him, please?
Okay. So on the public Matrix, you find next to nothing on him.
Right. Okay.
It's only when you dive a bit deeper onto the shadow net, if you will, that his name starts to crop up. Specifically, he seems to be some sort of kind of biomedicinal scientist. The more you read into him, the more he gives off like mad scientist vibes.
Oh, no.
And the post, like, you find an address of a clinic that he operates out of, and looking at it, you realize it's relatively close to the residential home. But you also find what is effectively like a shadow net post where he's asking for willing patients for a number of revolutionary medical procedures.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not great.
And as you actually off the back of that, you will also find that being so the bit that stands out to you is that he's biomedicinal, not cyber-medicinal.
Okay. Well, yeah, because wasn't Margaret getting lots of cyberware?
Yeah. And she was getting lots of cyberware, and as far as Ben and David were concerned, he wasn't doing anything.
Working. But so maybe she was also after some kind of medical, sort of medicine treatment, perhaps. Okay. I think we need to pay this clinic a visit.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
It is now nighttime.
Tomorrow?
Well, we could see. It might be open late. Depends. Can I
kind
see
of get
the
the feeling?
time?
You get the feeling that this, when I say clinic, it's not the sort of clinic that does a standard 9 to 5. This is like a invitation only kind of place.
Oh, okay.
So he might still be there potentially.
Should we break into it?
We could probably try and break in.
No, we're breaking in.
And even if he isn't there, we can look at his office and stuff.
Well, yeah, we can still find out stuff, can't we?
Because we're trying to find the person who murdered Price's friend, who is probably linked to this person that cybered up the other nanny.
There's got to be some link going on, and it was the same. It was the same condition that Eileen and Margaret both.
That's the only link we got so far, that they both had a condition. This one was healed.
Or was it? We don't actually know where Margaret. Well, no, it wasn't. She was turned into an assassin granny.
Yeah.
Let's break into it, because we're not going to chat with him.
Okay, we're breaking in. Go around the back.
Okay.
So at some point, Marcus does consider the fact that he's breaking into a medical clinic upon the request of a ghost that was a friend of Price's. Going.
So I'm just going to.
I mean, it makes sense.
I'm going to suggest that this sounds particularly action-based, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh, we're on the action
phase now.
So, Marcus,
can I roll my edge?
Do you have a plan?
It's
Yeah,
your time.
I will do. I also need to roll my edge. The plan will be Cat does some hacking, Bear does some killing, and Price does some distractions.
Okay, same as always. Okay.
Same as always, I think. That sounds
It
pretty
ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's a plan. It probably is. Not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yes,
I'm rolling edge. Hey, 11 on 10 plus. I got 3 hold. Holy shit.
3 hold. Okay.
So I can actually summon 3 pieces of gear if I need to.
Oh wow.
And teleport 3 times, and/or teleport 3 times. Okay, cool. Right, so you make your way across London again. There's a distinctly different vibe from the city when you drive across at nighttime. As you kind of skirt up across the bridges, to the north of the river, as you drive through, like this way, it's effectively kind of a northwesty kind of area, surprisingly near the Augurtech actually. But as you kind of drive through the various districts, you can see the wage. There's a mixture of wage slaves starting to pour out of dribble out of various corporate buildings, intermingling with the party goers heading to their favoured night haunts. It's a clash of well-pressed black suits versus the chrome and neon. As you approach this address, if for all like you would look at it and kind of see it as nothing more than like the address is like a back alley chop shop at best. Like this is somewhere off the books kind of thing. It's a clinic in the back of a store at the back of a shop. That's that sort of place. But yeah, you manage to park the car somewhere nearby. You know that there's a back entrance into what appears to be this kind of loading area for a nearby warehouse. That this kind of these coordinates you've got kind of link off it. And as you approach, the only thing lighting this loading area is a intermittently flickering street lamp. And as you step out the car, quite obviously, you feel the first drips of rain hitting your forehead and nose. Ahead of you is kind of the large corrugated, kind of those slider doors. You can see another entrance door. The warehouse itself looks switched off. There don't seem to be there's a single light that you can see kind of on an upper floor that's on.
Okay.
So we can either go through the door or through the slidey gate. Correct.
And they're upstairs then, or?
So it looks like the slidey gate is kind of the loading door to this warehouse.
Yeah. But there's a door as well.
Yeah. They're kind of next to each other.
Okay.
Have we been subtle about this, or are we just doing this?
No.
I mean,
is there a keypad that Cat can hack into?
I'm thinking it might be helpful if I did sort of do what I can now rather than later about things like alarms.
Okay.
And maybe there might be security
Sure.
cameras. I don't know. Possibly.
I mean,
can I use my intel to find out what the security's like?
You'd be able to use your intel to allow you. I will allow you to use that to be able to wirelessly access the systems without any penalty.
Or I could save it for like a keypad or something once we're in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or we need to get in. That's the issue.
We do need to get in. That's true. It's true. What would you guys prefer? Getting in smoothly or knowing about any security measures before going in?
I think security measures. I'm not worried about smoothly.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I'll use my intel to sort of remotely find out what the deal is in terms of, alarms and camera feeds and stuff like that.
Okay. So as you jack in, if I can get you to, as you log in, roll me a console cowboy.
That is a success.
Hey, okay. So you gain 3 hold.
Nice.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
I'll stack them up here for you. Okay, so you gain 3 hold that you can use to play around with the system.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, as you look around in like wirelessly on the matrix, because you've got the right security protocols and kind of addresses, you won't suffer the penalty. As you look around, you notice that there's like a single camera setup looking across this docking bay that you're in. So it's currently picking you up, but at the moment you're just a car in the loading bay. There is an alarm on the door, like a keypad on the keypad entry on the door. Yeah, there's a camera system, 1 external camera that's currently looking at you, and there are 3 cameras internal, like over it's this space that's kind of behind and above the warehouse it's connected to.
Okay.
That seems to be like its own unique, almost like private network. There's also, if you were inspecting the security measures, you would also find systems that operate temperature control.
And that's to do with security?
Not security, but just like temperature control seems to be a very important system from where you're stood in the system.
Sure. From here, can I go about like deactivating any of those cameras, perhaps?
If the camera outside's linked to the one inside, can you view the cameras on the inside using the one on the outside?
Ooh, yeah, good idea.
Yeah. So that'd be
if you want to, I don't want to.
So
then you can see what's in there.
I think so. To view through the cameras, like remotely, that would be a manipulate systems.
Okay, I will do that, please. That is a 9, so partial.
Ooh. Okay. So again, just bear in mind you'll get another hold, but I won't add it. But
okay.
So as you, you kind of get into the system as you manipulate it, and effectively you're able to go from the camera that you can see through the wiring to the central camera hub, and then you're able to view the other cameras. So you can see yourself in a car sat outside. There is another camera in a room that you would describe it almost as a laboratory, and there's what appears to be like steam rising from the floor, like grates in the floor. Like or steam, smoke, some sort of light mist rising from the floor. You can see cameras watching the stairs to the office upstairs, and then what is effectively like a study. It looks like it should be an office of some sort, but it's been converted into a small study, and the place has been turned over.
Ooh.
You can see, and as you watch, because it's inside and the light, this is the room with the lights on, you can see like shadows on one of the walls. Something's happening off screen. You can see shadows, and they're just kind of intermingling quickly, erratically.
Okay. So I'm going to let the others know that there's some action going on currently in there.
And the place has been ransacked.
Yeah, and that the study...
Being ransacked at the moment.
It is currently,
Kat, why don't you cut the cameras off and break down that door? Or lift it, maybe.
Can I use my hold to do that, or...?
Turning off would arguably be compromised security.
Okay.
So if I can get you to roll a mind, I mean, you've got all the holds, so you should be fine.
Oh, okay. That is a 6, so it's complications.
So you trigger an alert, but you'll be able to stop.
I can shut it down with one of the
alert.
hold.
Oh, nice.
I will spend a hold in that case.
Okay,
Thank you.
so you see this alarm start to go off, but yeah, you shut it down. You manage to kind of turn off the cameras. So now all that's left running are the temperature controls, and there's like security on the keypad on the door.
Yeah. Marcus is going to suggest Bear opens the shuttered gate door, the loading bay. Just try and lift it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy to.
Yeah, Bear, you managed to. Are you literally just trying to wrench this door up and push it up? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Cool. In which case, yeah, it makes a bit of noise as the door. And you push it up and kind of force it against the servos and the motors. As you look around, you see this kind of warehouse area. You see all the shelves with various boxes of whatever is in this warehouse is for. You see a doorway to a set of stairs going up. So a doorway to your right that leads into a small corridor. Immediately there's a staircase going up. There's also another door on the same floor as you, if that makes sense.
Kat, have you got any a way to get up to that room? Do you have a map of the area?
Oh. Do I, Dan? A map.
So the map of the facility is effectively you've got the warehouse.
Yeah.
Off the side of just off the side of the warehouse is this staircase upstairs, where the keypad door would have led to. But there's also an open interior door between the two.
Yeah.
There's a third door just off the stairway, that appears to be much more heavy, heavy duty, and there's almost what appears to be some sort of refrigeration unit. It's a large, industrial refrigerator.
Yeah.
All right, we're going upstairs then.
Mm.
All right, let's go.
All four of you
want to check the fridge first, or see what we're dealing with? Or...
The reinforced fridge.
Oh.
That's upstairs, right, or is that down?
It's downstairs.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fridge in the loading bay.
Might as well check it, haven't we?
What about the person we know that's upstairs? Is there any way out of that office, or
just down the staircase that you're at the bottom of?
Maybe we
and
should...
the window?
Well, I mean, yeah,
split the party. One
no,
group goes up,
we're not splitting the party. We are absolutely not splitting the party.
So,
integrated.
As well, if you guys are going in, you go into the warehouse through this large loading bay shutter that Bear's just broken, pushing up.
There's a bear-sized shape inside the shutter.
Yes. Yeah. So, let's say, effectively, you stood in the doorway. Immediately to your left is the staircase up. Immediately to your right is the keypad door to the outside, and immediately in front of you is this heavy reinforced door. You can see cold mist seeping round it, seeping from it. That's got a keypad as well.
So Kat, why don't you try that keypad to the fridge, and Marcus, you and I can watch the stairs and make sure Matey Boy doesn't escape.
That sounds good.
I should also point out, begging pardon, that at the bottom of the stairs you can hear the sounds of a struggle. There's shouting and struggling from upstairs.
Oh.
Okay, then.
Maybe we should actually hurry up.
Marcus is heading that way.
I think we all need to go that way.
We can check the fridge later, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fridge is less urgent.
Is there a window to the fridge?
No. Okay, so are you heading upstairs then?
Yeah, sounds that way.
Right, so as you all rush up the stairs into kind of this office area, and sure enough, Ellie, as you saw it on the cameras, what would effectively be this kind of small warehouse office has been turned into this kind of crazy, science study type place. There are beakers and tubes and kind of vid feeds with various kind of what look like DNA strands spinning around with kind of annotations and things are calculating and processing, and all of that is overwhelmed by the fact that there is a sound of a man, and as you look over, you can see behind a tipped over desk. You can see like 2 feet like slamming up and down, arms waving, and there appears like as you step into the room, you can see that there is a man on the floor with what appears to be an old lady in a pink knitted jumper, and they're wrestling.
Oh no.
The man screams, like lets out a yelp of pain, and as you step in, what do?
I am firing some shots.
Yeah. Help him.
Yeah.
Talk to Margaret.
At the old lady with my holdout pistol with gel rounds.
Okay. That sounds quite violent. So please roll me a mix it up.
It is quite violent. Mix it up. Does Bear want to assist with that?
Yeah, I was thinking he was going to leap over the desk at her, but maybe not if you're going to start firing.
Oh, well, we can do both. Fire and grab her.
Okay. Yeah, sure, I'll help. Yeah.
Will do help?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. It works. Mix it up.
So you can take a +1 forward, but Bear will be implicated in the consequences.
I roll with synth.
Oh no.
+1 is a 7, is a partial success.
Partial success. Okay.
You just shoot Bear out of the window.
So you, and it's gel rounds, yeah?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so you fire a handful of gel rounds at this old woman, like who's on top of this man behind the desk. You achieve your objective, but
do I hit the guy on the ground?
Oh no.
Maybe.
So hang on. So
do I hit Bear?
So you achieve your objective. Additionally, choose 2 poisons. So you make too much noise, you take harm as established by the fiction, an ally takes harm as established by the fiction, something of value break.
Bear is going to get shot. And...
Noise, maybe?
Yeah, let's go with noise.
Okay. So
even though it is silenced, but I don't know if that does anything.
Bear probably makes a noise when you shoot him.
Yeah.
Okay. So you fire a few shots, Bear, as you kind of go in to grab this old woman. The gel rounds like hit her in the side. She is kind of knocked off. This prone man slams against the wall and then turns her head to look at you, and she doesn't look well. So as she turns to look at you, her mouth is covered in blood, and she hisses at you, and you notice some long fangs in her mouth. Her fingernails, like her fingers, are long and distended. They're kind of spiky. The top kind of patch of her hair is gone, as it looks like something's forced its way out of her skull. And you can see that there are a number of horrifying scars all along her limbs. Like you can see it kind of the bottom of her ripped skirt. There's sore wounds where it looks like something is pushed out of her legs, like pushed out of her arms. In this kind of precise moment, you take a look at her, and remembering that she had all of these cybernetic implants fitted, it almost looks like they've all forced their way out of her body. Like her eyes, her eyes have been kind of pushed out, and now they're just kind of red gaping holes. You can, like, there's a bulge where something's trying to push its way up through her neck. Like she just looks to you and slashes you with her claws for 2 harm.
Is this me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bear,
so
I think you need to finish off the work here.
and Bear, if you can roll me a harm check as she slashes you.
Oh no.
Sure.
Roll low.
Harm is not good, by the way.
You are fine, but for
well
how
done.
long?
Well done.
Yeah, because low is good.
Okay. Do you have any armor, Bear?
I have some mystic armor for my bear skin, yeah.
How much is that?
I think I've incorporated that into my harm roll. So it says subtract
Ah, I
It's
see.
a, it's a -1 harm armor. Yeah.
Subtract 2 from your roll when you make the harm move.
Gotcha. Okay, so you take the 2 slashing damage then. Your harm clock goes up to 6 o'clock as she slashes you. As she slashes you, she hisses, and like she hasn't got eyes. She's just got holes where her eyes used to be, like bloody holes. But she looks around, she seems to be able to see you, Bear, and then she squats and then jumps, rotates in the air, and sticks to the ceiling, and like hisses down at you from the ceiling. The man at your feet is dead. His throat is gone. And yeah, as she hisses to you, you hear her scream, "Who are you?" Bear, what do you do?
He's abandoning the non-lethal approach. The fire axes are coming off the back, and
Yeah. Can
So
you
I can
reach
reach
the
it.
ceiling? Is the real question though.
that's a good question.
She's currently up on the ceiling, so you maybe not. I would have to.
Can I
if you,
throw the fire axes at her?
Nice.
You absolutely
Yeah.
can. Ah! Okay, yeah. Roll, mix it up.
Okay. I guess I'd be aiming for like a leg maybe to try and knock her down rather than kill her outright.
Okay, sounds good.
Mix it up.
Let's go. Oh yes.
Okay, so you, like with this great big slash across your chest, you hurl the fire axe in it, the sort of like 10 feet up to the ceiling, and there's this, as the axe embeds into this old woman's thigh. Her leg reflexively kind of kicks out, which drops her down from the, like shakes the tile that she's on enough that it snaps and she falls to the ground in a crumple. She then kind of skitters up, like with this axe embedded in her thigh, and she kind of skitters around, looking at you all.
So she's still alive.
She's still alive.
Yep.
What's the damage of your axe, Bear? Is it 3?
3, I think.
Okay, yeah, she's still alive.
Okay. Unless does Price or Cat want to do anything at this point?
So, Price, what do you do?
I would like to levitate her and pin her against the back wall and say to her, "Margaret, we're from the care home. We're here to look after we're here to check on your welfare. We have a few questions we'd like to ask you about Eileen."
Wow.
You never returned your pajamas that we lent you.
Price, please roll me a cast a spell. Move.
Nice.
Hey! Okay. So
It worked.
she hisses with this axe, and she stands up and like launches herself at Bear, but you manage to catch her in midair, throw her back, and she bam cracks it, like slams into the wall. Like slams into the wall, and she just and like as with her arms stretched, you can see the extent of the mutilation across her body.
Can I perceive her astrally? Is she like coming off with low? Because the only thing I can think of to reject all the cyber implants is that she's got some magical thing going through her.
So tell you what, yeah, off the back of that, so she's just pinned in place. As you turn on your astral sight and kind of peer into the astral, she is glowing like a Christmas tree. Her soul is like she is a dual soul creature. Like she is both of flesh and of magic. And as you slam her against the wall, you're like, "We're from the care home." Like she flails, and as you say that, she just kind of her movements begin to slow, and then she stops. Like she stops thrashing, and then the care home.
Ooh.
And she looks to you and you're here about Eileen, aren't you?
Yes, you knew Eileen, didn't you?
Yes, she was a friendly soul, wasn't she?
Indeed. And did you meet her after leaving the care home?
This creature drops her head slightly. Drops her head because she's still pinned to the wall,
Yeah.
like spread eagle. And
I didn't, but I wish I had the strength to see her again.
She looks up to you. Well, she looks in your direction.
I didn't mean it to end like this.
So how she died?
So it's clear that this is Margaret, right? So I'm just going to call her
Yeah.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret begins to cry and weep uncontrollably.
I didn't mean to. I didn't understand what was happening. It wasn't supposed to happen like this.
And she says that a bit of this man's esophagus falls off her chin.
Oh.
Where did you get this power from? Who gave this to you? And I'll be moving in closer and closer every time I'm asking her this.
She
Too close spice.
She kind of sways her head, like rocks her head backwards and forwards, and then it stops. And you kind of get the feeling that she's looking at the man on the floor.
Would I recognise the man on the floor from my research?
You would.
It's
The man on the floor is
Dr.
Lucas.
Heisender. Yeah.
Dr. Heisender.
Ah.
And yeah, Margaret looks up to you and
I didn't want this. I just wanted to watch my grandchildren grow up.
Unfortunate. You made the worst sin of all. You tore my Eileen's soul and heart out. You can ask her for mercy, but you can get none else from us. And I'll put on an illusion of Eileen's face on myself so she can talk to Eileen one last time.
Oh.
And then I'll nod to one of these two who are willing to do it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you cast the illusion, I won't have you roll. As you cast the illusion, like
that could go really bad for the story.
Margaret's head jolts up as you cast the spell, and it's clear that she's seeing astrally, not physically.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like she's trying to get away from the figure. And Margaret starts howling in anguish.
Why did you have to keep looking, Eileen? Why did you have to? Oh, you weren't supposed to know, Eileen. You were. It didn't. None of them even mattered. They were ne'er-do-wells, Eileen. No one would care about them. Why did you have to? Oh, Eileen, no. I'm sorry, Eileen. Ah!
I'll get Eileen to respond that no matter what, however anyone is, their souls are all souls in the end, and they should all be looked after. I'm sorry for you.
Margaret, as you say it, you're almost drowned out by Margaret sobbing. Bear Margus, Cat, you've had a nod from Price.
Marcus is enough and just takes the magnet out, pulls it around, and shoots at the creature.
Okay, where?
Head.
Okay. In which case, Price, as you deliver your All Souls or Souls
Big thud.
line, there is a loud bassy boom, and the creature you're holding up goes limp. As you release the magic and she slides to the floor, and you can see the hole punched through the wall behind her. You look around and like the office is a state. The man in front of you is a mess. She's a mess. Before the Magnum round, and just off in the distance you can hear the sounds of police sirens from the noise that you raised. You made earlier. You'll have time to do some very quick things before you have to bug out.
Cat, do you reckon we could take some of her cybernetics? Might be able to track down where they came from, maybe.
I'll just step in, Cat, as you're Arsat, and you take one look at this poor creature that Margaret's become. You realise there are no cybernetics in her, and like looking at all the wounds and scars across her body, they've
all rejected. Okay,
they've all been forced out.
Right, I see. Okay.
So it's good that there's something ungodly here. There's something unnatural in the sense that this person's been given powers, being awakened without both unnaturally, like a forced awakening. Wow. There's something more with her flesh and the genetics in her, I think, than the cider stuff. And the answer might lie in that fridge or these books.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take some quick pictures of her body, just so that we can maybe show it to people or refer to it outside of this mission. And yeah, I think we need to check out that fridge.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Somebody should go in the office. Somebody should check the fridge, and one person needs to check out Lucas. So I think I'll check out Lucas.
Okay.
Who wants to go in the office quickly?
Price, maybe if you do that, and then me and Kat will head downstairs, look at the fridge.
We'll look at the fridge, yeah.
Kat can open the door, can't she?
Yeah. Okay, so real quick then, we'll start with Marcus and Price. As Kat and Bear head back downstairs to the refrigerated area. So Marcus, as you peer over Lucas, this man has been torn into by claws. He's had his throat ripped out by fangs.
Sure.
He didn't die well.
Does he have a telephone or some notes or a wallet on him or a notepad?
He's got his comm link on his person. Separately, Price. So you're scoping the office, yeah? So you can find a number of sort of like research notes, like on various like data slates, and there's all these vid screens. If you want to try and hoover some of them up, I will ask for a act under pressure. To see, like, whilst with the sound of the sirens getting louder, like how quickly.
Ooh.
Okay.
No pressure.
So you look around and you just kind of scoop up what you can, because looking at it, it's all kind of gobbledygook. But you just kind of grab stuff that looks important.
Double one.
Jeez. That is double one. So you kind of gather everything up, but you have
that's fine.
Yeah, you have no idea if it's any good. Meanwhile, downstairs, do you want to use your intel from hacking the system earlier to open the keypad?
I thought I did use my intel already to do the whole...
Beg your pardon, so you did?
Yeah,
do you want to use your... Because you're still in the wireless matrix, you'll use your hold to compromise the system? Yeah,
I'll
cool.
use the hold, thank you.
Cool, we'll just grab that.
Get rid of them.
So as you enter in the keypad and the doors slide open, the wave of cold hits the two of you, and And yeah, stepping in, it's cold for a start, and there's cold steam rising from the grates on the floor. But the sides are just festooned with what appear to be like test tubes, vials with like liquids and kind of those, for some reason they always seem to be in like DNA spirals, but the liquids seem to be in those sort of spirals. You can see petri dishes, helixes, thank you. You can see petri dishes, you can see beakers, like there's all sorts of stuff down here.
Okay.
Like this isn't what you'd expect to find in an industrial refrigerator.
Does any of it have like labels or markings?
As you inspect them, no. As you blink a few times, like looking at it slightly astrally, you do notice that they all glow ever so slightly. Ooh, this is a magical pathogen of some sort.
Is there anything in the fridge or close to it that the scientists would have used to keep track of what's what? Like, is there a monitor on the wall of the fridge? Is a terminal of some kind or anything?
So Ellie, give me an act under pressure. See if you can find what it is you're looking for.
Oh no, I'm not cool though. It's a 6.
Ooh. I mean, it should.
The complications might be generating additional
Yeah.
delay that increases.
Yeah, let's put it up by 2 from earlier as well.
My. Yeah.
So, yeah, as you look around, like you do find some notes. Again, they're a bit jargony to you, but the one bit that you see that you recognize is that these tests are on HMHVV, which is a very particular virus.
The zombie virus.
The human metahuman vampiric virus. So it's normally the one you've encountered this before. HMHVV, one of the more common strains, turn people into ghouls. This strain, however, it's not the same. It's not the common strain. It's like that hepatitis A, B, and C are different, but you don't know entirely what the difference is between them.
That's fine.
But it's a different strain to the ones you normally see.
Should we take a couple?
Yeah, I think Bear would be taking a few because we can get them checked out later, can't we?
Yeah. Because you need to chill in, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we need to get them home. Let's get them to the fridge in our flat.
Has your sedan got a mini fridge, Bryce? Stick them in there.
It's a luxury sedan.
Yeah.
Does have a little cooler.
Little cocktail
thing.
Do
we have any ability to create some gear? Are we meeting all back downstairs?
I have a whole bunch of hold. I brought a cooler box with me because
you're able to find a cooler box from upstairs. You're able to just find it and produce it.
Okay.
I was going to say I could create one for us using your gear and my Arcana. I can make a special bio container.
Well, it's Intel and Arcana that we have rather than gear, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought the hold could be used as gear.
I can make gear pop up basically
Marcus's
when I need it.
Hold can.
So we need a cool box right now, and Marcus finds one.
Okay. I think we'll take as much of if all this stuff looks the same and we can't differentiate, we'll just take as much as we can, like safely.
A selection of things.
Yeah, transport.
Okay. In which case, as you grab these vials, and there's a part of you, so like there's like hazmat suits hanging. There's a hazmat suit hanging up at the far end of the hanging up at the entrance. Everything's kind of like rubber gloves. So you put your hands in the rubber gloves and then fiddle around in the cabinets. So there's a part of you that you watch as Bear just starts grabbing these delicate glass vials with big meaty hands and just kind of dropping them in this drinks cooler. But yeah, luckily none of them break. But yeah, you manage to kind of pack up as best you can. You can really hear the sirens coming. If you can stay and do some more stuff, but the NLPD will probably arrive.
I think we need to go.
That's a good point, Price. Do we need to destroy everything we're not taking?
What?
just
I think just over your shoulder for an epic exit from coming out of the broken cargo.
Because we don't want this stuff spreading, do we? And no one's going to be looking after it now.
Or we could release it into the air of London.
What? When did the mass psycho come out in Cat? Like,
I'm saying you might not just destroy it, you might release it, make it airborne, and infect a load of people unwittingly. That's what I'm saying. You do it.
Well, no, in fact, it's under cool storage. I'm assuming the heat of an explosion would kill it. That's just,
Okay.
Let the
on the back of a matchbox science that we're going to
do. You suspect that, mate? I know liquid nitrogen is famously flammable, right? Like. Like highly pressurized canisters.
Wait, not hydrogen, not nitrogen.
Well, either or, yeah.
Yes.
Liquid hydrogen. If you've got enough grenades, if you were to throw these grenades in an enclosed space with lots of high pressurized things, you'll blow it out for sure.
But just leave it. The NPD will find it. That's fine. I think.
Yeah, they'll find it. But what will they do with it? I mean, I don't feel good about what happened to that old lady. I don't know about the rest of you.
We still don't know which corporation is involved in this. I mean, we got the odd hint of Genesis, didn't we? So we don't know if the police. What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ellie's just getting in the car and saying, "Throw grenades or not, I don't care. We need to get out of here."
Yeah, we need to go.
I'm gonna go for it. I've got this bag of grenades. I'm gonna use it.
Oh, no.
Okay, go.
Just throw it in, shove the fridge door closed, and then I'm running to the car.
Okay, so you watch as Bear comes running back to the car with seven pins around his fingers. Like the car door slams as Bear jumps in, and like as he looks at it, goes, "We're good." There's a boom as the grenades go off, ignite whatever high pressurized canisters are in there, and everything just starts incinerating as it blows through the coolant pipes. Like one of the windows upstairs blow out, the office blows out. Just that whole warehouse segment just detonates. And as Price as you put your foot down and kind of drive away, you manage to leave early enough that you pass the NLPD far enough away that you might not be associated.
Got out.
That's
we fast forward to back at the flat.
Get paid by the ghost.
Price.
Get paid, Price.
As you enter, like you're in the flat. The spirit is stood looking at you, and as you explain everything that's happened, and you explain the story of Margaret.
Does it believe us?
The spirit just kind of like is looking at you impassively. Roll me, get paid.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
You're gonna add,
and you add 4 to the prompt.
To the prompt.
Yeah.
Finally, all that bad dice rolling.
This was the one that mattered.
I got 2 good ones.
You roll an 11. So if you can choose 3 benefits from the list, please.
Paid in full, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's one.
The meeting.
You learn something from the mission.
Yeah, let's get XP as well. That's good.
Everyone gets XP, and
doesn't attract attention. We haven't lured the NLPD back to the flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then.
Because we know who the employer is.
I know. Yeah, go on. Yeah, those 3.
Okay. So as meeting doesn't attract attention. You are paid in full. And you mark experience. So as you explain everything to this spirit, the spirit just, as I say, looks at you impassively. And then when you finish, the spirit lowers its head, looks back up to you, opens its eyes, looks back to you, and in Eileen's voice says, "Thank you, Price." And then you watch as the spirit fades away. You then get notifications on your respective comm links of money being wired to your respective accounts, double what you staked,
Oh, go Eileen!
Yeah.
Pension raided.
And
Come on, Eileen.
as you kind of stand around and kind of look at each other after this bizarre run, Josh kind of pokes his head out of the room and, "Can the ghost sleep over tonight?" he says to you as he kind of looks up expectantly. Elsewhere in Neo-London, a room illuminated by a single hanging ceiling lamp high up illuminates a desk. Behind the desk, a figure sits in a chair, shrouded in darkness except for a fully cybernetic hand that ends in vicious-looking claws and blades. The machinery twitches ever so often, making the fingers move involuntarily. A door opens, heavy metallic footsteps enter into the room, and you hear a robotic-like voice rings out.
Report.
There is silence for a few moments before a more feminine voice says,
The facility has been destroyed. A number of Shadowrunners. You believe they are the ones we encountered outside Blue Tree. And Heisender. Dead. The virus destroyed.
There is a metallic growl from the shadows, and two pinpoint eyes, red eyes, illuminate.
Find them. Make them bleed.
Congratulations, everyone, as I turn up the Black Phoenix threat clock.
Yay!
This is
Hey,
On
not good.
completing mission 3.
This isn't fair. We didn't even see Black Phoenix on this mission, and we upped our clock.
It's definitely to do with all this madness.
What happens if the threat clocks get to full?
A whole
die.
crack
We
squad
die.
of vampires comes and kills us, is what happens.
Which is basically happening every episode anyway, so you know we might as well
gonna say, that's-
Might as well speed it up. Let's get
We
it
got
over.
away with
Tuesday.
it. We got
Yeah.
away with it quite easy on this mission, I'd say. Only the threat clock. went
Marcus
up.
had bruised ribs from the vampire attack.
Yeah, and now Bear's got big old slashes across him.
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations, everyone! You on
Yay.
completing session, mission 3. Yeah, I hope you, I hope you all enjoyed. It was a slightly different mission to normal, but
Cool.
Cool.
I guess we will
Yeah,
see.
very good.
We will see what happens with the continuing machinations of Black Phoenix and the exploits of our brave Shadowrunners. So, with that said, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. And we'll catch you next time.
And thank you.
Catch you next one. Thanks, Dan.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Take
See
care.
ya.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.
Welcome to MDN News.
Telling you everything you need to know.
We are receiving reports of an explosion in West Neo-London tonight.
The location is reported to have been a gourmet food storage facility, and whilst the cause of the blast is not known, there have been no reported casualties.
NLPD, NLFD and other emergency services have quarantined the area in case of further damage to property.
Next up, is your Matrix avatar hot enough for summer?
Join us after the break, as we present you this year's latest spring bomb.
If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment down below. You can find more Explorers of Elsewhere content right here. You should also go ahead and subscribe to the channel by clicking right here. Click the bell to receive notifications of new uploads. Until next time, stick to the shadows.